Rooftop Sports welcomes you to a special presentation of the National Football League.
That's not what he wanted to cook.
And good afternoon, everyone. This is the Rooftop Sports, and usually I'd be doing a Mariners game, but because the Seahawks game is on, I think that is something to be covering. And as for the Mariners, they are actually winning themselves, so that's good for them. They are on the verge of possibly sweeping Texas Rangers. But anyways, besides the point, we got a Seahawks game to cover, and Epic Sea Films, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. I'm doing very, very good. So I feel great about where everything is going so far with the Seahawks season and with my life in general. So thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yeah, of course, always. I mean, you're one of my go-to guys, and one of the immediate updates I got to give everyone is that Tua is not going to be playing for the Dolphins. Their star quarterback, Tagovailoa, if I even said that name correctly, but he is not going to be playing today. Instead, it is going to be Skylar Thompson who is going to be the quarterback, if I got that name right, if I am correct. I got to make sure and see if I did get his name correctly. Pretty sure it's Skylar Thompson. Let me double check. Now I feel embarrassed. All right. Who is the quarterback for the Dolphins?
Skylar Thompson.
Skylar Thompson. I was right. So, although good news is Seahawks are up 2-0. I mean, they're up 2-0 right now. They had a good win against the Patriots last week, including that defensive domination over the Denver Broncos. And they go up against the Miami Dolphins, who are 1-1. But I expect this to still be a challenge, even without the Tua Tagovailoa. So, Epic Sea Films, how much of a challenge are you expecting out of the Miami Dolphins today?
I think the Miami Dolphins aren't going to be as good without with their backup quarterback, unless they've had a lot of practice over the last week and kind of like worked out the kinks. But most people don't know who Skylar Thompson is. He came into the league a few years ago. Most people don't know much about their history, and so that another interesting thing is just like I think the Seahawks have a good chance to win this game because it's a home game against our crowd. We usually win 80 to 90% of our home games every year. So it's like that's one of our big strengths of our team for years. So I think that's going to be in our favor. Also, the odds are in our favor. Everybody says we have the upper hand because, okay, Dolphins quarterback's out. We have a home game. We're playing against our fans. Yes. And an interesting fact, since 1990, teams that started 2-0 have reached the playoffs 63.9% of the time.
And for the statistics, in the regular season, Seahawks are 120-58. So I don't think that's necessarily 80% of games, but it's pretty close when it comes to the playoffs because they are 10-2 when the Seahawks play at home. And those two losses were actually against, guess which team those two losses were at home in the playoffs?
San Francisco?
Nope.
Atlanta?
The Rams. The Rams beat them twice, and that's when the Seahawks won their divisions. And they lost to limping Rams teams at the time.
Yeah. So part of it is true, but they do have they win most of the time at home.
They do typically win most of the time at home. And also a quick update, shall I call it? Actually, I got to do this really quick. I just got to do this, but just don't say anything. And the game break is the Mariners. They have just taken a 4-0 lead over the Texas Rangers. And as the Mariners are on the verge of possibly sweeping the Texas Rangers, they have to now hope that Boston can hold their end of the bargain along with the Baltimore Orioles, which is very unlikely. But anyways, we got to get back into business. It is time to cover this Seahawks game. And hopefully Seahawks can come away with a win. And if they do win, they will become 3-0. And now I got to remember, when was the last time the Seahawks actually did complete a 3-0 start? Let's take a look and see. Last year, they clearly were not. 2022, obviously not. 21, obviously not. But I think it was the 2020 season was the last time they were a 3-0 team. And it was when they beat the Dallas Cowboys 38-31. And they actually had a 5-0 start, but then they kind of limped their way. They kind of had a limping like middle part of the season where they had critical losses against Arizona, Buffalo, the Rams, which they should have won, and they should have beat the Giants as well. And they finished that season 12-4.
Yeah. So since the playoffs expanded to 12 teams in 1990, just 11.5% of teams started 2-0 have recovered to reach the postseason. So 11.5%.
I hate to interrupt you, but we got a game starting and the kickoff, and we got a big return going past the 30 up to the 35 on the kick return. And it was a good return by the Seahawks, and which, by the way, they have the offense. The Dolphins must have won the toss, so that means they have deferred. And now we've got Geno Smith as the quarterback, and ever since he threw that interception, he has been playing exceptionally well. And I know that you do find it unusual when I'm actually giving praise to Geno Smith, that he's actually off to a pretty good start. But let's not forget, he's played the Broncos and the Patriots. Big freaking deal. Any monkey can do that. Anyways, we got Geno Smith. He is at the 35 on a 1st and 10, completing 73% of his passes. Hopefully he can keep that up. Geno Smith with a man in motion. He hands it off to Charbonnet, and he's getting at least about a couple yards and not going to do much, and that's going to be the 2nd down, as Minnesota is absolutely annihilating the Houston Texans. And good thing I benched my quarterback, because I had CJ Stroud, and then I benched him for, well, somebody else. Good thing I did. And now we've got a 2nd and 7 for Geno Smith. Got a single back formation, and he's a fake handoff, and now Geno Smith's getting a little bit overwhelmed, and that is caught by the tight end, and that's going to be a 1st down. And that was caught by number 88. Can't really see what his name is. I should know. It's Barner as a tight end. And now we're looking at a 1st and 10, fresh set of downs for the Seahawks. It was a nice fake handoff, and Geno Smith, and although it was a little bit pressured, he got it to the tight end for the 1st down.
You should never count on a quarterback, because if they get in the right situation, they can perform very well and recreate their career.
Now we got Geno Smith. Here it is with the running back right next to him, Charbonnet, and now he does another fake handoff. He has plenty of time, and he is going to make a big pass, and that's going to be caught by Tyler Lockett, and that's going to be another 1st down, and looks like the Seahawks are getting into field goal range.
Yep.
Good start by Geno Smith. He has been perfect so far. He is now 2 for 2.
Yeah. I think who's the surprise of the year so far this year? Was it Derek Carr, or was it Sam Darnold?
I'm going to say Sam Darnold was the big surprise. I think Derek Carr was a bit more expected because he's already an established quarterback. And now we got a 1st and 10 for Seattle on their 37, on Miami's 37. Got 13 minutes left in the quarter. If you care about the Mariners, they're up 5-0 right now. And Geno Smith looks like he is going to burn a timeout. Looks like he didn't like the play or the formation that he did have. So that's going to be a timeout.
Do you know what Geno's real name is?
What's his real name?
His first name? Do you know?
No.
So his name is actually Eugene.
Eugene, that makes sense. Eugenio.
Yeah. There was a video clip on Instagram the other day. They're asking the players, do they know what his real name is?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what DK's real name is?
What is it?
Well, his name's not DK. Those are like initials.
Well, what's his full name? Gotta look it up.
Yeah. So DK, it's DeQuaylin.
And we got a 1st and 10 for Geno. And now there's a man in motion. That's Jake Bobo. He hands it off to Charbonnet, and he is going to get absolutely stopped right there, and nothing's going to be happening. Now, I think that could even be a loss of a yard right there.
Yeah. So DeQuaylin, Zachary Rias, Metcalf.
That's a very good to know. And if only I played the Steelers defense against the Chargers. Somehow I put the Chargers defense at Pittsburgh. Great idea, right?
Hey.
2nd and 10.
I played Jalen over playing Geno today.
2nd and 10. And now Gino, he's got some time. No, he's not some time at all. He's going to get sacked. And that's going to be a 3rd and long. Good defense by Miami, as Gino had virtually no time to make any kind of a pass.
Well, you know what defense I played? I played the Seahawks defense over playing the Lions defense.
And now we're looking at a 3rd and 15, and this could be out of the field goal range for sure, unfortunately. And now Geno Smith looking to pass, and that's going to be caught by Charbonnet. He's going to get some yards out of it. Not really. That's going to be a 4th down, but I wonder if that's going to be field goal range for the Seahawks.
I would take a field goal. I would risk it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather not punt at all, as we're looking at a 4th and 10, and Jason Myers is going to be hopefully going to be kicking the field goal. And we'll see if he does. And he is 5 for 5 so far, so he's actually had a pretty good start. His long is 50 this season. And I wonder what the field goal attempt is going to be for Jason Myers. It's going to be a 56-yard attempt, so it's going to be a very long shot to see if he can actually get this. 56-yard attempt for Jason Myers, and now here is a set and the kick, and that is good. That is a good for Jason Myers, and the Seahawks get on the board and take a 3-0 lead. What a nice kick by Jason Myers. And take me your thoughts on Jason Myers and that field goal.
That was clean. That field goal was very, very clean. And so that I've been seeing a lot more players, and I've been seeing a lot more videos online of people who actually are kicking a lot longer field goals nowadays. There's a high school kicker who can kick 61-yard field goals. Yes, a high school kicker. So there's so many kickers now that can kick 50 to 60 yards that it's common. It's usually what gets to them is the pressure. Because a lot of times they have the distance, they just don't have the accuracy.
Yeah, pretty much. It's good to see a 3-0 lead. And any of the problems that you saw in the offense, like obviously the offensive line was off. I mean, is there anything Gino could have done in that drive?
I don't see no problems with our offense. It's a lot of times it's the nerves of the first drive of the game where you're not in your rhythm yet because you haven't worked in, and so you get overexcited or you rush things sometimes. And I think that's kind of what happens where it's like, hey, I'm excited that I'm finally playing again. You want to win so badly, and then all of a sudden things don't go your way.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe Gino was overthinking, and that's why he took the timeout. Which
he tends to do.
So, but that's not a bad thing, because you have to make quick decisions and make decisions. So.
And bad news, the Mariners, they just gave up a 3-run home run to make it 5-4.
Wow. Mm-hmm. My bench is playing better than my starters. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, pretty much. What's the score on your team so far?
My team's doing horrible. I only have 50 points. Half my guys have played, and I played I only have 50 points. So I might not pull this out. I need to
see the score so far.
I need a huge night I need a huge game from DK Metcalf, and then I need a huge game from Jamar Chase. If those two people can give me huge games, I will win this. But that's what I'm praying for. And the Seahawks their defense has to play excellent.
They really do, don't they?
Because
do you have Tyreek Hill against it? Do you have Tyreek Hill against you? You do.
Well, I have a Seahawks defense. I played them over the Lions, which I thought was a better move.
Jason Myers is getting set to kick as we're going to see the defensive side of the Seahawks, and hopefully
touchback.
They can get it rolling. And here is the kick. And that is going to go all the way back for a touchback.
Told you it was going to be a touchback.
You felt it, did you?
I think 90% of the time in the league now, it's going to be a touchback. And basically the kickoff's now avoided now. Why don't they just stick the ball on the 30-yard line? What's the point of having the kickoff anyway?
And now here is Skylar Thompson, who is now the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. He is taking over for the injured Tua Tagovailoa, which I don't even know if he's even going to be playing for the rest of his career. He might actually retire, unfortunately. And he is a really talented kid.
But he lucked out. He just got his big contract after being healthy for a year. So now he has guaranteed money of like 100.
I know. You got to give him credit for that. As we're looking at a 1st and 10 for Skylar Thompson and the Miami Dolphins. And now here is the big pass. And that is going to be caught. And that's going to be a first down and some more. And already, they are already in Seahawks territory.
Mm-hmm.
This is not good so far.
Think about
Skylar,
most quarterbacks who are in the NFL, even if they're third-string quarterbacks, can complete at least 50% of their passes. Most games.
Oh, yeah.
So, right there. Then the rest of the time, all you have to do is hand off the ball. So, how bad can a quarterback really be?
Now we're looking at a 1st and 10 for Miami. And now he's going to hand it back to his running back as he tosses it back. He's going to get gainage, and that's going to be a first down again. Yeah. And where is the Seahawks defense? Definitely a missed tackle right there.
Yeah.
And the stats for Skylar Thompson this season, he's 8 for 14, only 80 yards, but he's already driving the field on this one.
Yeah, like I said, he's about 50% passing, you know?
Funny thing is, I'm texting one of my former bosses when I was a bank teller and he was a bank manager.
Yeah.
We're texting throughout the game right now. He's a Miami fan, and of course, I'm a Seahawks fan.
Yeah.
As we are looking at the 2nd and 1, and we got running back right behind him, man in motion, and he's going to fake the handoff, and he's going to be overwhelmed, and he gets taken down, and that's going to be incomplete. The defense, I think that was a little bit of a blitz job there, as we're looking at a 3 and 1, and that was Maffei that made that play.
Yes.
I'm surprised they didn't call roughing the passer. I mean, you can't really call that roughing the passer, especially if you were already in motion.
Yeah, they say it's like there's a 1.5 rule or something like that. Have you heard about that?
Yep, I heard of something like that. We're looking at a 3rd and 1, and there's a lot of Miami fans at this game. Looks like they're traveling really well. And now he's going to hand it off to the running back, and he's going to be stopped, and that is going to be 4th down. And good defense by the Seahawks.
You go for it?
Considering that, I think if I were them, I would go for it because you're going to get the ball in the second half anyway. Especially knowing how much the Seahawks don't exactly have a clutch defense. At least it's shown over the years.
It's improved from last season, though.
Just a little bit. And it looks like they're not going to go for it on 4th down. It looks like they're just going to go for that field goal. As it is going to be a 4th and 1. It's going to be Jason Sanders.
How long is the field goal?
52-yard field goal. It's going to be a 57 field goal attempt. And now here it is, and it is no good. It is no good, and the Seahawks now maintain the 3-0 lead.
Like I said, he had the distance, didn't have the accuracy.
Didn't have the accuracy.
That's what I said earlier. And it's like these kickers can kick it that long, they just don't have the accuracy all the time because it's so far. You know, they're thinking about so much about trying to just make it there.
They really did.
And their kick was longer than our kick. So my defense still has 10 points. Yay. And lost their 10 points.
Do you have the Seahawks defense on your league?
Yeah, that's on my team. That's my defense. Over the Lions defense. Why would you rather? Yeah, I have good defenses.
Mariners are in serious trouble. Mariners now, they have a 5-4 lead, and it's still the bottom of the 6th.
It's so ridiculous, this State Farm commercial where they have a football, a soccer ball mixed. They mixed the football and a soccer ball together. And they made a new game. But yeah.
Yep. And now, with commercial break going on, I think I'm gonna react to the Mariners game until commercial break's over. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be popped up, and that should do it for this inning. We got the first baseman. He is there. That is Justin Turner, and he makes the catch, and that is going to retire the side as the Mariners, they unfortunately gave up 4 freaking runs.
Like I said, it's the Mariners have for years. The Mariners haven't been good since 2001 was their last good season. And in my lifetime, because before I even got interested really heavily into sports, it was like they haven't done squat in my lifetime. Because like when I was younger, I didn't care as much about sports. And I'm like, the era that were you even a fan in the 90s of the team?
I didn't become a fan until 2000.
So technically, your lifetime, they had one good season. They made the playoffs twice.
2 good seasons.
Well, if you consider making the playoffs a good season.
For the Mariners, yes. For their standards, unfortunately. For the Seahawks, if they make the playoffs, and if it's going to be if you measure the success, it depends on the situation. Like 2022, that was a successful Oh, and now here is Geno Smith. He hands off to Charbonnet, and he actually gets a hole, and he's going into the first down.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we can say that 2022 was a successful season considering the circumstances because they had just traded away Russell Wilson, and they got rid of Bobby Wagner at that time. And at that time, I think many were thinking that the Seahawks were playing for the #1 pick, including me. I was actually looking forward to the tank season as here is Geno Smith on a 1st and 10. Quick pass, gives it to Noah Fant, and that's another first down, back-to-back first downs for the Seahawks offense.
Well, what Pete Carroll had done and how he drafted with those picks from Denver set up Mike McDonald to have great success. He got in a really good situation, our new coach, versus some of the other teams. The coach that got in the worst situation was Dave Canals. Carolina was was doing really bad when he got there.
And now we got a 1st and 10, man in motion. That is #1. And now here's Geno Smith handing off to Charbonnet, and he actually gets a couple yards on that. And that's going to be a 2nd down.
Yeah, because you look at some of the teams and the situation they got into, like some of the other new head coaches, like Atlanta, he got a good quarterback. So now his team can't be that bad, and they weren't that bad last year. They were 7-win team or something like that, Atlanta.
Geno Smith, 4 for 4. And now here's a 2nd and 7. And now he's trying to get out of it, and he's going to go for a big pass, and that is going to be caught. And that is DK Metcalf with the catch. And now they're in the red zone.
Woo!
What a way for Geno Smith to escape from the pocket. Gets a nice pass to DK Metcalf. I believe he's on your team.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Well, the thing I've said is and what I've noticed about Geno is Geno wanted to be a pocket passer early in his career is what people have said. But now he's actually become more of a mobile quarterback.
He's trying to do more of the Russell Wilson way. We got to hand off to Charbonnet, and he's going to get in there for the touchdown. First touchdown for the Seahawks. And now is 9-0 pending the PAT. What a quick offensive drive for the Seahawks.
Yes. And the thing about this is Geno was sitting behind Russell, like you said. He actually has learned from Russell. He learned some skill from Russell about how to be more mobile and stuff like that, And that has really, I think, opened up his game. And that helps him maybe even be better than a Michael Penix, who doesn't have as much mobility, they say. And so that actually widens.
I always had
offense.
When I was watching Geno Smith's game, I thought he was going to be a mobile type quarterback, but he tried so much to be a pocket passer. But since then, he had adapted and maybe had. And flick of the switch says Rooftop is super excited. It's football. What do you expect?
Yeah, but but Ryan Grubb has been a good choice for an offensive coordinator. I think so. With Geno's skill set, I think it's working great. I think they chose good pieces to build this team back up.
I'm going to say this again. Do you know what I wanted after that Russell Wilson trade? Do you know what I was waiting for?
Yes.
I was waiting for the trades of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I wanted that wipe the whole slate clean.
But see, here's the thing: is every time you hope for something, they always do the opposite, or the opposite always happens.
Okay, why don't you name a few?
Okay,
in order.
Matt Flynn. Russell came in. Russell won as a Super Bowl. Matt Flynn you don't even hear his name anymore in the league. There's just a lot of them. Like with the trade, you want us to tank and stuff like that, and then you wanted DK Metcalf gone. DK Metcalf's just a very passionate player. Even though he has issues with his anger, he's just a very passionate player.
That's
And he's
fair.
calmed down. So I don't like now looking back at it. I don't mind that he sometimes gets a little bit upset and has to he spends some money to get out of the situations. But basically, to me, it's he's just very passionate. And Tyler Lockett, he's became such associated with this team. How would you want to get rid of him and stuff like that? The other guy that was such a big part of this team was a guy like Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner was a big part of this team, but I understand why they got rid of him. He is getting older, and defensive guys don't last as long as some other positions, so I can understand it. Usually the most long-lasting positions are a kicker or a punter.
You know what I noticed about Tyler Lockett is he tries everything he can to avoid contact. That's why he's had longevity. You've seen him make a catch. He doesn't try to go for the extra 5 yards. He just slides and just takes it, especially if it's already a first down.
But that's a big thing. Think about this. People don't realize, but I think that's such an important stat now is how many games have you played in a row? What's your health record? That's such an important thing. If people paid more attention to that, some of these quarterbacks wouldn't get paid as much money as they should. Some of these other players wouldn't. A Tua wouldn't get paid so much money if it wasn't if they looked at his record of health.
Mm-hmm.
Health is a big part of the record.
And now we're back from the break. Seahawks have now taken a quick 10-0 lead off of a great pass by Geno Smith coming out of the pocket. Big pass to DK Metcalf, and then immediately handed off to Zach Charbonnet for the touchdown. And I wonder if there's anyone that does have Zach Charbonnet. Congratulations to you, because I don't think I have Zach Charbonnet on my team.
No, but I have DK Metcalf. I got 3.2 points for that big catch.
I don't have Zach Charbonnet on my team. And now we're going for that big kick by Jason Myers. It's going to be the kickoff, and he's going to run it out as he is going past the 20 and going past into the 30.
So you got to the 30, 31 and a half or 31.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is about if he would have not ran. So all that work for nothing.
And now Skylar Thompson's now back, and last time he was on the offensive drive, he did help give the Miami at least a couple first downs, and then offense just fell apart, which led to a missed field goal.
Yeah. He used to play for Kansas State in college.
He did. And now we got Tyreek Hill as their wide receiver, and Tyreek Hill has made quite a bit of headlines over the past month or past couple weeks or so. And now he's going to hand it off to the running back, and he's actually getting a breakaway, and that's going to be a first down. And the Seahawks continue to have problems stopping the running game.
Mm-hmm. Flag.
And we got a flag, and I wonder if it's going to be holding on the offense. It looks like it is.
His name's
Land holding on
Clark.
offense. Going to be 10 yards back.
The referee's name was Land Clark.
Very interesting.
That's an interesting name. I've never heard anyone named Land before. I've heard Rain before, but not Land. No, this was one guy said his name was Rain because his parents were hippies. That's why he was named Rain.
Angels are beating the Astros so far. I know that this is a football game, but my mind is so heavy on baseball right now because Mariners are making that somewhat of an exciting run to the playoffs as if they are trying. As we're looking at a 1st and 16 for the Miami Dolphins on the 1st and 24 on their own territory. And now here is a quick pass, and that is going to be, he gets away, and he's still running. He gets past the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be at least a few yards on that, probably about 6 yards. And I wonder if there's a flag going on. Yep, there's going to be a flag. Looks like it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct. We're going to see exactly what the referees say. There was some little bit of some little problems going on in the sidelines, the Seahawks side of the sideline. We're going to see what the referee is going to say.
This is what they do a lot, run plays. When your quarterback, you think your quarterback's not good or not comfortable, you just do run plays. It's literally all you do.
Yep, that was expected. That was Witherspoon with the unnecessary roughness. Yep, he shoved him right at the end of the play, which was very unnecessary.
Well, the problem is forward momentum, in football. I think that's a really big issue is how do you determine forward momentum? Yes,
not about the momentum. It was not about the momentum. The push happened at the end of the play. He was well out of bounds. So the pushing was extremely unnecessary.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at 1st and 10, as Miami did catch a huge break on that. And now he's going to hand it off to his running back, who's been playing very well, and he is pushing, and that is 8 yards.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be a big part of Miami's game plan because of their quarterback switch. It's just running the ball. This is so common. It's so obvious.
If you care about the Mariners, JT Chargois has taken over for the bullpen, as he should, because Brian Woo's he got really diced up that last inning, as Mariners now have 1 out on the Texas Rangers in the top of the 7th inning, or bottom of the 7th inning. Magic numbers, 8 outs to go. And now we're looking for another handoff to the running back, and they get stopped this time, and that's going to be 3rd down. 3rd down and a length. Seahawks are still up 10-0 with 5 minutes left in the quarter.
Let's see any other game.
Looks like Leonard Williams is out, and his return ability is questionable, as he has suffered some kind of rib problems. And we're looking at a 10-0 lead again. I know I said that already. I wonder if the Browns won. Oh, great. Texas just tied the game. And now it looks like we got an overwhelming, looks like a fumble.
You see the coach try to do a timeout, and the coach couldn't do a timeout. He decided to pull off of it.
Distracted by this Mariners game. And looks like we got a punt. And we're looking at 4th and 18. And the punt is being done. And that's going to go all the way to the punt return. It's going to take a bounce. And I think they're not going to even bother with it. And that's going to go all the way to the 10 on their own territory. Seahawks get the stop, but they'll be playing quite deep.
In other sports news today, the actual WNBA playoffs started today. We already had one game that finished. It was the New York Liberty that played the Atlanta Dream, and the New York Liberty won 83-69.
83-69.
Mm-hmm. And there's another game going on right now, which is the Indiana Fever versus the Connecticut Sun.
Now the pitch. I'm doing the Mariners game right now. It's 5-5. Marcus Simeon's up to the plate, and this is how I'm doing commercial break, because Flick of the Switch is here, and he doesn't want me to play commercials. You got Marcus Simeon looking at a 2-2 so far on JT Chargois. And now here is the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to left field and fouled.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot. This Mariners game's painful. They had a 5-0 lead, and they've already squandered every bit of it. I should have went to the casino and put money on the Texas Rangers for that. And we're looking at a 2-2 count on Marcus Simeon, and now here's the pitch, and that's outside for a ball, 3-2. I'm gonna put it on Twitter right now. If you are if you are wondering why some Mariner fans act irrationally to the point of hate, this game is a perfect explanation of it. Emotion and frustration, especially in the heat of a playoff race, is a thing.
So in some other breaking news, as we know that next season there will be a new WNBA team. It'll be the Golden State Valkyrie. Also, Toronto got an expansion team. And then the 15th team coming to the league is the Portland team. So there's going to be a Portland franchise in the WNBA for the 15th team. Who do you think deserves the 16th team to the WNBA? What city?
That's a question. Houston. You gotta give it back to Houston.
You think Houston?
Houston, you gotta give it back to them.
Houston's not a bad ideal.
Houston had a market. They had a team. Tina Thompson. As
So
we're
right
looking
now
at a
we have
first
what-
and 10 for Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Charbonnet is right next to him. In a man in motion. And he's going to hand it to Zach Charbonnet. He doesn't really have much running room, and he loses significant yards, and that's going to be at least 2-yard loss. And that is going to be a second down.
I don't know. It's like if you added a 33rd NFL team, where would you put it? Like, would you want to go back to Texas and do like San Antonio, or would you want to do like another state?
And here is Geno Smith on the second. 2 possessions so far, ended up in a score. Charbonnet is right next to him. Looks like Kenneth Walker is not going to be playing this game as he has injury problems. 2nd and 11. Now here's Geno Smith looking to pass. Now here is the pass, and that is caught by DK Metcalf. That's going to be a first down, but there's a late flag.
Oh!
And I wonder if it's going to be a holding call. Or, yep, could be a pass interference. Yep, DK Metcalf is charged with that. And DK Metcalf is frustrated with that, understandably.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there was that pass interference right there. Easy call for the referee, unfortunately. And now we got a second down, and Geno Smith cannot afford any more flags on this. Otherwise, we're talking about safety situations. I think one more hold, and you're going to be caught. You're going to be charged with a safety. 2nd and 15. 2 penalties for the Seahawks. And now here's a 2nd and 15. Geno Smith's got plenty of time to pass, and there's the pass, and nearly picked off. And instead, it was batted away for a 3rd and 15. That pass was intended for Tyler Lockett. 3rd and 15, and I don't think, not really, and I think Geno's got to at least come up with a big pass. I mean, I don't think there's any point of running the ball. I don't think you would do that on a 3rd and 15. I think he's just got to heave it as much as he can. I mean, what would you do if you're Geno Smith in this play?
Put Bobo in there and have Bobo get a big long pass.
That's cute. And now we're looking at a 3rd and 15.
My other option is throw it to DK Metcalf.
And now he has some time to pass. And now he's running out of time, can suffer the safety. And that's going to be intercepted.
Oh,
and that is going to the red zone. Geno Smith ran out of time. He tried to throw it, and that was picked off.
He threw it to our receiver. Our receiver batted it up. So is that Geno's
Yeah, he
fault?
did.
Is that Geno's fault, or is that the receiver's fault?
Well, we should take a look at the play and see what really went down.
Because I don't know if that's Geno's fault. Look at this.
Now
Geno
here was
was
Geno. He was getting overwhelmed. Nearly got sacked. Yep, it was Charbonnet that could not make that catch, but it was also not a great throw by Geno Smith either.
It wasn't. No, but there still was a decent spiral on it.
And there was no way he could have just thrown it away because that would have been intentional grounding.
Yeah.
And now the Seahawks are going to have to, their defense is going to have to find a way to pull it out of their butts.
Which their defense is good.
I don't know about that. And he hands it off to the running back, and there's going to be a flag, and he falls down. And I wonder what this is going to be.
But false start.
Looks like it is a false start.
Offense, I think.
Illegal motion on the offense.
Knew it was an offensive thing. So that helps us. They did it to themselves.
And we're looking at 1st and goal for Miami. They did lose yards because of the flag. Seconds going down. And now it's a fake. And he passes it. That's going to be caught, but that will be not so much of a gain. It'll be about 1 yard.
Yep.
I'm really distracted by that Mariners game.
You know who has Tyreek Hill?
Who?
The person
You
I'm
do.
playing against.
Oh, the other, yeah, true.
So if they do bad and Gino and DK Metcalf just plays better, I could pull out of this matchup somehow. So, whoo.
We're looking at a 2nd and goal.
Just don't pass to the guy.
Now he's
They just
going
run it
to
all day
fake
long.
handoff here. Skylar Thompson with the pass, and that's inching close. And that is going to be a 3rd down and goal.
If we stop him here, do they kick the field goal or do they go for it? You know, on 4th, would they go for it if they get stopped? Running down the sidelines.
And now we're looking at a 3rd and goal. Clock is going down, and looks like that's going to be... Are they going to call a timeout?
Yep.
And timeout has been called by Miami.
That evens it out. Now we both wasted a timeout in the first quarter.
They did. And now look at the Mariners. Here's J.P. Crawford, and that's going to be a strike 2. Mariners are at 2 outs. We're in the top of the 8th. They're in danger of going to the bottom of the 8th to give Texas a chance to take the lead. And now here's the pitch to JP. And that's going to be strike 3 called, and I can't believe what I'm seeing. You know what I think with the Mariners? I think they were so desperate for views from the Seahawks that they decided to just throw this game.
So in the world of NFL, we've had some other games that happened this week. We had Green Bay beating Tennessee 30-14. We had the Broncos finally winning their first game 26-7 over Tampa Bay. And then we had Pittsburgh and we had
3rd and goal so far.
Chargers.
Here's Skylar Thompson looking to pass. He's actually lost time. He's getting pressured, and he's going to just throw it away, and that's going to be a 4th down.
So Bo Nix finally won his first game today. How do you feel about that?
Seahawks. I wish Bo Nix fell to the Seahawks.
Nah. We don't need a quarterback, really.
I think we do.
No.
Gino's not going to be the quarterback for the Super Bowl.
Hey, if we somehow win like 12 games, win our division this year, everyone's going to be just talking about, could the Seahawks be Super Bowl champs?
No. And Jason Sanders is going for the field goal, as he did miss it previously, but he should be able to make this one on a 23-yard attempt. This is pretty much just a chip shot. It's even shorter than the PAT. The snap, the kick, and that's going right through the uprights, and that is going to be 10-3, Seattle Seahawks lead. As this scoring was thanks in part to Geno Smith and that interception. Also, you can credit it to bad offensive line and also terrible ability for Zach Charbonnet to catch the ball, which led to that interception.
Let's see. Any big stories so far?
Mariners are still tied against Texas Rangers.
Well, two of the big stories now is Pittsburgh won today. So Pittsburgh actually beat who did they play today? They beat somebody, and that was a big game. Oh, Pittsburgh beat the Chargers 20-10. So Pittsburgh is 3-0 with Justin Fields as their quarterback. How do you feel about that?
Hold on. You were saying?
So basically, Justin Fields has been playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they are now 3-0.
I mean, Steelers have great defense. And now we got a kickoff, and that is going to be an opportunistic moment for a return. And actually, not so much. It was a short kick, but the Seahawks actually lost on that one. Maybe you should have let that one bounce so you can get a free touchback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we still have two undefeated teams. We still have a few undefeated teams left. Two of them won today, which was Minnesota, and we also have the Pittsburgh Steelers, which are all 3-0. If we win today, we would also be in that group of 3-0 teams.
Looks like we got an illegal formation that happened against Miami. And now here's Geno Smith looking to redeem himself this time after that terrible drive. With that interception. We're looking at a 1st and 10 with a man in motion. Here's Geno Smith. And he's got some time going for the big pass. And that is going to be caught by DK Metcalf. He's still going to 20. Let's go. And there's the touchdown. Big pass by Geno on the first offensive pass of this drive. And a big pass to DK for the touchdown.
DK.
71-yard touchdown. And he's on your fantasy team, right?
Yeah, DK and Geno, but I benched Geno and I played Jalen Hurts. I could have had both points, but now I only have the points from DK.
Ah, but wait, you don't. But after all, you don't care because it's fantasy. That was a huge pass by Geno Smith to DK Metcalf.
Yeah, now I got 14.3 points for DK already today.
Excellent.
They say I have a 2/3 chance of winning right now because of that play now. Because Tyreek Hill's doing a squat.
Yeah, let's take a look at that score.
Mm-hmm.
Epic C Films. Yep, now you have a higher probability of winning. All thanks to that play.
And Geno now is 7.2. Geno is going to outplay Jalen Hurts today, which I only got 10.9 points from Jalen because Jalen had an interception and a sack and a fumble today. Geno's had an interception today, so they're playing him. Wow. That's what Ryan Grubb can do. He can open up players to get big throws down the field. That's what he knows how to do.
Speak of Ryan Grubb, I got words for you.
Right.
I think after you see the rankings, you're going to realize that moving to the Big Ten was a horrible idea because
we've won. We were 3-1.
Yeah, but the Cougars are actually ranked, and you guys aren't.
Yeah, just because we lost on a last-second play.
Yeah, whose fault was that? The refs?
No, but here's the thing about it is that our team is still good and we're still winning games. You keep thinking our team's going to be a joke and you're not going to win that many games. I kept saying that at worst we're going to win like 6 games or something like that, 5 or 6 games. So we already are going to have a decent record and stuff like that.
They don't realize what kind of a competition that they have in the Big Ten.
Hey, we're winning games. Think about it. We're winning games.
Oh, I got a touchdown pass. I got a touchdown by Marvin Harrison Jr.
But do you get what I'm saying, though? We are actually winning and we're still doing well.
Because you're playing a bunch of scrubs.
No, we aren't.
You're playing a bunch of monkeys.
Our team is good.
Anyone can. You couldn't even score 30 points on Northwestern. You give up a safety. That's why you guys aren't ranked, because you can't even beat bum teams.
But see, the thing about it is, if we win most of our games and we're doing that, we're playing, we're winning games. What matters is winning games. At the end of the day, everything else gets forgotten. If you win games, you win games.
Uh-huh.
You're just really harsh on teams, even when they're having success.
They're not having success.
Yes, they are.
No, it doesn't count as a win when you're playing against college teams that...
Okay, let's look at this. So let me look at this. So if you look at even at the Big Ten, most teams in the Big Ten have at least one loss.
That's cute.
So let's see. What team in the Big Ten? You're talking about Big Ten teams. There is literally, okay, how many teams are there? There's
17-3, and now here is the kick by Jason Myers, and that is, he's going to bring it out, going to the 10, the 20, and he's going past into the 30, getting close to the 40. What a return by Miami.
Okay, there are 6 teams. There are 6 teams right now out of 18 teams that don't have a loss in the Big Ten. 6 of them. There's only one team in the Big Ten right now. Well, there's two teams in the Big Ten right now that have losing records. There's only two of them. That's UCLA, who's 1-2, and the other team is Purdue, 1-2. Right there. So
now we're looking at 1st and 10 for Miami. Skylar Thompson. He's got the running back right next to him. Little man in motion right there. Here's Thompson, got time to pass, and that's going to be caught for the first down, and that is going into the 50, close to the 50. Looking at a 1st and 10 again. Good news is the Mariners got out of an inning. Now they're going to the top of the 9th. Hopefully they can take a lead as we got a 1st and 10 again for Miami. Got a 1st and 10, and he's going to hand it off to the running back. He's got no running room, gets stopped immediately, and now it's going to be a 2nd and 12.
And UW plays Rutgers next. Their next game is Rutgers.
And we're looking at a 2nd and 11 thus far. Second and 11. Miami has actually had more time with the ball. And now Skylar Thompson's got some time. No, not some time anymore. Oh, and he drops it. I don't think that's going to be a fumble. I think that's just going to be an incomplete pass. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
Mm-hmm. Yep, incomplete pass.
It was very much an incomplete pass. We're looking at 3rd and 11. Seahawks are up 17-3.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd is noisy, as you expected at Lumen Field. And now here is Thompson. He is out of the pocket, going for the pass, and that's going to be incomplete once again. And that was what you would say is a 3-and-out. It's not, but that will be still enough to force the punt.
This will be crazy. If we win today, we'll be tied with Minnesota for the best record in the NFC.
And then next week they'll play the Lions, which will be a tough one.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But that's really interesting right now that if they pull this out.
Hold on a second. We got a flag on the punt, and I wonder what this is going to be about.
Yeah.
We're just waiting to see what this flag is about. The kicking team. First down for the Seahawks, obviously. And as we go into commercial break, and I cover this Mariners offense as Luke Raley hits a foul ball. Angels are beating the Astros, so this is really a good time for the Mariners to actually win this game. They cannot screw this up, because then you can have a 4-game deficit against the Astros for the division. Now the pitch, and that's going to be low for a ball, 1-2. Luke Raley has 21 home runs this season. Career high, as we're looking at the 1-2 and the pitch, and that's going to be ball outside, 2-2. Luke Raley's got to find a way to get this offense going, especially with 5-5. You really got to win this game, as we're looking at a 2-2 count on Luke Raley. Now here is the pitch, and that's going to be popped up and fouled again as Luke Raley is really fighting this off. That's the crazy thing. I'm covering a Mariners game and a Seahawks game at the same time because the Mariners, they just had to screw this up as we're looking at a 2-2 and the pitch. And I did jinx it too. I said the Mariners were on the verge of sweeping when it was only the 6th inning. So I'll take the blame for that too. As we are looking at a 3-2 full count for Luke Raley. No outs so far as he is the first batter, obviously. As we're looking at a 3-2. And now here is the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to the pitcher as he's going to toss it over the first, and that's going to be in time. Wow, Sam Darnold threw 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. You know what's going to make it look sadder? Right now, Carolina's winning 14-7. Andy Dalton's playing, not Bryce Young. If they pull out and win this game, it's just going to make Bryce Young look worse.
Possibly. And did you hear the rumors that the Seahawks are trying to trade for him, or you think that was just all fluff?
I know a lot of teams say there's been a lot of rumors like, oh, would teams trade for the guy because if you put him with a better offensive line and a better receivers, would he actually do well?
Who knows?
You don't know.
And we are back from the break.
Because they're saying was it really his fault of how bad he's been playing? Because was it him playing bad or was it the team overall? And if Andy Dalton wins a game, because they put Andy Dalton in last year and he played a little bit better than Bryce Young too. That was when Bryce Young was injured.
Now we got a 1st and 10.
Yeah, so I'm saying.
And now here is Gino. He's going for the pass, and that's going to be caught, and that's maybe going to be about a yard gain as we're looking at a 2nd down and probably 9. Leonard Williams is back, so that's good news. Julio Rodriguez is up to the plate right now. As we're looking at a 2nd and 8. And now here is a handoff to Charbonnet, and he's going to get at least a couple yards on that. That's going to probably be about a 3rd and 6. So Seahawks offense is a little bit sluggish in this drive so far. Yeah, I would like to see some plays going for Jackson Smith and Jigba because he's actually on my team. And yeah, I should have drafted DK Metcalf. Like, what in the world was I thinking?
So we know that DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are options 1 and 2. Jackson Smith and Jigba is option
3rd and 5 so far.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's Geno Smith looking to pass once again. Now here is the pass, and that's going to be caught by Tyler Lockett, and that's going to be a 1st down.
Would it have almost been better to have Noah Fant than to have Jackson Smith and Jigba for fantasy point wise?
No, Noah Fant's not good.
Well, we don't really use our tight end much, but I'm just saying.
I drafted James Cook over DK Metcalf because I already took Amon St. Brown and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Well, you know what's hurting my team? Jamar Chase, underperforming.
1st and 10, and now here's Geno Smith. Quick pass, and that's going to be caught by Noah Fant. And that is going to be a 1st down.
Watch him have more fantasy points today than Jigba, even though Jigba did better last week.
Remember how you pronounced his name incorrectly last time? Pretty bad.
So I didn't know how you were supposed to pronounce it.
None of us knew.
No. Just like it's Reek Woolen. Got to be careful.
These weird names, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like his name's not actually Gino. His real name's Eugene.
We're looking at a 1st and 10. Now here's the pass, and that is going to be caught by Jackson Smith and Jigba. And now he's going into field goal range. And yep, he's on my team, baby.
Yeah, it doesn't have that touchdown like DK today. Mm-hmm. Look how smooth that ball was. Look at that. The spiral.
And now here's another Geno Smith going for a pass, and that's going to be incomplete. That is way incomplete.
He tried to get it in. Well, if you actually look at it, Tyler Lockett's not a big, like, size-wise. For, like, a receiver, he's, like, a smaller receiver.
Looks like the Cleveland Browns lost this week. Lost to the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
As we're looking at a 2nd and 10. They are clearly in Miami's territory. And we got a single back formation. 2nd and 10, man in motion. That is in Jigba. He passes it over to the running back, and that is going to be at least a nice gainage on that. About 5 yards, but we got a flag, and this is probably going back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like my tight end on my bench played better than my tight end that started. I started.
That was Anthony Bradford, who is charged with the flag.
I should have started the Pittsburgh's tight end. I started the tight end for the New England. And this week their tight end did squat. Well, not nothing, but they did really not great.
Now we got Geno Smith looking to pass on a 2nd and 20, and that is going to be caught by Charbonnet, but he gets almost nothing on that one.
Still like 4 yards.
Still nothing. It's going to be a 3rd down and like 17.
So that's 3 yards. I was close. That's 3 more yards than we used to have. Yeah, thinking positive.
Got a 3rd and 17. We got Geno Smith. Third and 17. Clock is going down badly, and he gets it off just in time. That should have been a delay of game, and that's going to be caught by Bill. And that's going to be a 4th down. I wonder if this is at least going to qualify for a field goal.
That's Brown.
That was Brown. Bill Brown. Going to be Jason Myers with a field goal attempt once again. He did make it on the first one. That was like a 56-yard attempt, which he did make. And this time's a 53. And the kick is up, and it is no good. Not this time.
He makes it from 56, but can't make it from 53.
Hey, adrenaline rush is a thing, don't you think?
And like I said, it's the pressure, like, you know. It's like you already made one big one and you try to get another one, but look at it. And
nothing doing on that one.
Just off.
It was. It didn't look good anyway, though.
But it had the distance, like I said. See what I said? Distance is there, accuracy is off. That's what happens to most players.
That is a thing.
See, my theory is that my analysis is actually pretty good on this. Mm-hmm.
That is fair. Now let's take a look at around the league so far.
Mm-hmm.
For the fantasy league, we got myself and Seattle Water Bottles. I'm actually in danger of barely winning. He does have most of his players already playing, so I think I'll be okay. Actually, I don't know. I think Seattle Water Bottles might actually have a chance. I got a touchdown. Jared Goff throws a touchdown.
So here's the thing I think about is a win is a win. The numbers don't lie.
Macaroni and Cheese is in danger of losing.
Mm-hmm.
Macaroni and Cheese had a 2-0 start. Remember at the draft party? And St. Brown caught it. So I got like double the points on that. Yep, I got St. Brown and Marvin Harrison Jr. with touchdowns.
Well, now that Rodgers has started to play better, it's going to help my Wilson guy, Garrett Wilson, because he's starting to pick up steam. on my fantasy team. I'm having other guys pick up steam for me because my main guys I drafted did horrible. Geno's outplaying Jalen Hurts. This is sad. Every time I draft a good quarterback, they end up playing worse for me than Geno, or about the same as Geno. Last year I had Goff. You have Goff. Last year I had Goff. He played basically the same as Geno. They average about 17 points a week. So.
And now we are back from the break.
That's what's happening with Jalen, playing about the same as Geno.
Oh, God. The Mariners are going to fucking lose. Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay.
What the fuck,
calm.
man? Are you fucking serious? Really?
Game's not over yet, is it?
No, it's over.
It's over?
Yes. Oh, my God.
It's 5-5.
No, the game's over.
Oh, it is? Why do you say it's over?
Because I just saw the game. I'm watching it.
Oh.
Anyways, back to the Seahawks game.
Which the Seahawks are in better shape than the Mariners.
Yes, at this point.
Oh, no. Is Murphy hurt? Hmm. 6 feet, 306 pounds, 22 years old. Do you think the Seahawks should go back to their old uniforms and wear the retro uniforms from like the 90s?
They already are.
Not all the time.
I did tweet this, though. It says, I actually have respect for Mariner fans that stay positive about the team 24/7. I just can't do it, and I tried for years. I really did, too.
Yeah.
When the Mariners blow a 5-0 lead against a team that won't be making the playoffs and won't even finish 500 or above, they don't deserve to make the playoffs, and they deserve to be booed.
How did she win MVP? Aja Wilson won MVP. Unanimously wins on MVP. Their team wasn't even the best team. Their team was like 5th best team or 4th best team. Their team wasn't even.
Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first.
Did you hear the news about Caitlin Clark?
Focus on investing.
Rookie of the year?
No. Caitlin
Third
Clark,
in MVP?
No, lost their first playoff game. Badly.
Oh, yeah.
93-69. Where did all these 69 losing scores?
I don't know.
Teams today had 69.
I wouldn't know at all.
And they lost. Wow. That's funny. Next game up right now is Minnesota and Phoenix.
It's like Byron Murphy, the rookie, is hurt at the moment.
Yes. We don't know how bad it is yet. Hopefully it's not too bad.
Let's do. Hope. Yeah, we can only hope.
Looks like he's walking it off, so hopefully it's not horrible.
That's what I'm hoping, too. That it's not horrible.
Should the NFL expand the times to show their games? Should there be more? Should they do a doubleheader on Monday nights? Should they?
No, I don't like that. I don't like that. But
Saturday game. Should they have like a Saturday night game?
You can't do Saturday. And we got a big run by Miami. He gets a big gainage on that, and that was on a 2nd and 2. And Miami gets into the Seattle territory.
Or what about doing Friday night games?
No.
Deal that.
Friday night might work because the NBA is not in a good shape right now.
And if you do it before the NBA season even starts, like if you do it the first like October, like they did a Friday night game the first week of the season, I think the Friday night games could do pretty well.
Yeah, better than Thursday. I think Thursday night is weird.
But they don't want to compete with like high school.
And we're looking at a 1st and 10. And here's Skylar Thompson. He's going to get sacked.
Wow.
And he gets.
Look how
Wow,
slow Skylar Hobson was.
He was very slow on that one.
It was like he didn't even notice the guy was there. The guy just like fell on. Look at this. Like I said, he's not in the rhythm of passing yet. Like he's fine at handing off the ball, but he's not in the rhythm of passing. The Skylar Thompson guy, he doesn't have that quick rhythm down yet. He hasn't been playing much.
Now here is Skylar Thompson with the big pass, and that's going to be caught. And nothing much gain right there.
No, but they're in field goal range. What do you think of the Dolphins' colors?
Never really cared about it that much.
It's an interesting. I think it's just an interesting choice of colors. The teal and the orange. Who would have thought of that?
And we're looking at a 3rd and 13. And now here is the pass to Tyreek Hill, and he drops it.
That's good for me. Tyreek Hill has no points today. This guy's getting no points. Like literally, whew. I'm saying he got a really good game from Sam Darnold, but it's not getting nothing from Tyreek Hill today. It's crazy. Remember you said you wanted Swift? Swift isn't doing that good this year. The running back, Swift.
We're looking at a 4th and 13. It's going to be a punt because Miami could not get anything done on that.
They could go for a field goal here. They're in field goal range.
I guess so.
I would have just went for the field goal here. What do you have to lose?
And now here's the kick, and that is going to be no fair catch being done. That's going to be a touchback.
They should have just went for the field goal. They would have been going. It's like the field goal, the touchback is 30 yards. The field goal is like 39 yard line. So it would have been no difference if they would have missed the field goal. Wouldn't have hurt them anyway. Who's that guy? 22? Who are they talking about? Have you ever heard about the tearaway jerseys they used to have back in the NFL?
I don't know. I am just so distracted because the Mariners really blew it. I really am distracted mentally.
So, did you expect them to make the playoffs?
I delusionally did, yes.
See, the Mariners try to get true fans get so wrapped up in the fact that they think their team could pull it off. When
you know what's the worst part of this? I have people in the Mariners community that think I'm a bandwagon fan because I'm not, quote, positive about the team 24/7. Well, that's the worst part. I'm cheering for a team where it's filled with a fan base that literally thinks I'm a bandwagon fan and thinks I have no knowledge of baseball. And these are people said in the Generation Z that didn't even care to watch the Mariners until 2022. That's what I deal with.
For me, it's like I'm an outside person looking at this perspective. And I'm like, what gives you hope that they're actually going to make the playoffs?
I don't know.
Because you look at like what they've done. It's like what they changed coaching staffs. How much does that improve a team, especially in the middle of a season, or most of the season over, 3/4 of the season already over? How do you deal? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you? Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. That's why I knew in the back of my head, I'm like, the Mariners, they're most likely not going to make the playoffs. I knew it. Even though people were trying to hype it up. I went to a game recently, and then people were trying to like show a little spark of hope, and it's like they give you that spark of hope, and then they just destroy it.
They do destroy it completely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dustin, how's it going? I'm glad that you're sharing my pain with me. Now here is Geno Smith. He's playing excellent today, 12 of 15. And don't forget, this is just Miami, so big deal. Here's a 1st and 10, and he's going for the pass, and that's going to be caught. That is Tyler Lockett, and he slides. And you notice that Tyler Lockett, the reason why he has such amazing longevity is because he does slide away from the tackle.
Mm-hmm. That's a very important thing. Is the more longevity you have, the more you can help the team, and the more respect you get sometimes, because he's
not going for that. He's not trying to be the flashy guy. He's just trying to do what he can to be part of this team. And we're looking at a 1st and 10, 222 total yards by the Seahawks offense. 1st and 10, less than 6 minutes to go. And now he's going to get sacked. Geno Smith will go down on that one.
Yeah, that was Geno's fault. He was too slow. Man, San Francisco 14-0 against the Rams. The Rams might start 0-3. Remember last year the Rams made the playoffs, and now the Rams can't even win a game again? What's up with this Rams team?
Yep.
I think they're saying they're blaming it on injuries again, which is what happened 2 years ago. And I'm like, so they can only win games when they're healthy?
Now we're looking at a 2nd and 17. And here's Charbonnet. And that is maybe a few yards on that one.
2 yards. Yeah. Sup? Well, what's up is the ceiling. Yes. But I know I'm feeling good because the Seahawks are playing really well. And I feel like in America right now, it's a bigger deal if we're having a good football team than having a good baseball team.
We're looking at a 3rd and 16. Now here's Geno Smith going for the pass. He's going to have to go for a big one. He's getting overwhelmed already, and that is pretty much thrown away. That was nearly intercepted, and Miami gets a stop on that one. That's going to be 4th and 16, and Seahawks are going to be forced to punt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but as long as our defense plays good, we can just ride on this. We can just coast.
Just coasted along.
Because we're 2 scores up. So it'd be nice to score some more points. Yes, it would be. Look how long that punt is.
It was a very long punt. That's Michael Dixon doing it work. But it's going to be a big return by Miami. He's going for a big run, and he has a big opening, a big hole. And he goes out of bounds, but it was a great return by Miami.
I know.
It seems that the special teams and the running game has really carried Miami.
Yeah. So far, for only 3 points.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had a missed field goal, which could have gotten 3 more points. They not getting in the end zone when we gave them good field position.
Thanos, the Mariners did not win. They blew a 5-0 lead.
But that's the Mariners.
And now here's the 1st and 10 for Skylar Thompson. Now here's the pass, and that is going to be a few yards gain, and that's going to be maybe a 2nd down still.
Mm-hmm. And Green Bay is still winning games without their star quarterback. Malik Willis.
As we're looking at a 2nd and 6. And now here is Thompson in the pocket. He's going for the big pass, and that is going to be incomplete. That was not a good pass at all.
That was way underthrown, like
Way underthrown.
You're right. There's quite a bit of Miami fans in this game. Surprise in Seattle.
Very lot of.
I'm like, wow.
Miami has no conversions done whatsoever on the 3rd downs. And we got a big flag going on. What's going on here?
I don't know. There was multiple ones thrown.
That's false start on the offense.
So Dustin says, not even gonna lie. I'm bummed. And the last 10 games of the season against all logic. Yep. When you care so much about a team wanting to do well, you kind of forget about the actual statistics behind it and the probability of things happening. You know, you take all probability out the window and you say, hey, you just go on hope.
Got a 3rd and 11. And now here's Skylar Thompson, another flag going on, but still going. He gets sacked, but it may not matter because there's a flag going on. I wonder what this flag is.
But Skylar Thompson is not showing off good today. This is his chance to show off good, and he's not showing off. Carolina still holding on to their lead right now.
I guess so.
14-7. If they win that, that's huge for Carolina.
Another false start on the offense. Penalties obviously declined, so they're going to take that sack.
Yep. I don't think Andy Dalton's that bad of a quarterback. The Carolina's quarterback now. Why would we trade for Bryce Young when he's like $9 million a year for two more years? So that's $18 million versus we have a quarterback now that's like $2 million a year. Like our backup's good enough. Like, would you rather have our backup currently Sam Howell or have Bryce Young?
And we're looking at a 4th and 19. I've got another flag once again, and this has been a flag football game quite a bit.
Oh,
we got a run coming in, and that is going to be up to the 20.
Next Olympics, flag football is joining. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you got to keep adding sports, right?
Yeah, they're trying it out because they say that I think each host city can add like 4 sports or something like that to the overall thing. That's why we had breakdancing last one, or breaking in the last one.
Yep, another flag on Miami once again.
Right now, Detroit's winning, so that's 13-7.
Who's Detroit playing?
Arizona.
Yep.
Wow. Well, going back to it is, let's see. Detroit is 1-1. Arizona is 1-1. So either way, does it really matter who wins that game? Slightly, you'd want Detroit to win because Arizona's in your division, but
we're looking at a 4th and 24. It's going to be a punt. They're going to repunt this thing, and it's going to go all the way launching, and it's going to go to and they're just going to let that bounce, and I think they should have at least tried a fair catch that one. That's going to be down all the way to the 5, and that's going to be very critical. Another flag once again.
What was the flag? Oh, it's on
the kicking team once again.
Do any of these night games excite you? Kansas City, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Buffalo, Washington, Cincinnati. Do any of those excite you?
No.
Like, for night games, that's not the rest of the lineup that they could have chose. I guess the best one I would say is Kansas City, Atlanta, just because it's Kirk Cousins versus Patrick Mahomes.
Who knows?
That might be the most exciting one of them. What? Wait, Joe Burrow versus Jaden McDaniels? Maybe. You're talking about, like, do these games excite you? Buffalo versus Jacksonville?
Hey, on the next commercial break, I'm gonna need you to be silent because I have to record something.
Okay,
Once
no
it's
problem.
next commercial break. But thank you, I appreciate that.
No problem. I got it.
Dustin, I don't blame you for thinking that way. I don't blame you at all. And look at how much they have to punt from deep.
But
4th and 39.
But these punters can punt like 60 yards or 70 yards. So it's,
Can't really guarantee a thing. And now here's the punt. And that's going to go to the 31. And that's going to be huge field position for the Seahawks. But didn't really get much yardage on that one.
No, but you think actually, they still punt like a 50 or 60 yard punt there.
I guess so.
So if these punters keep getting better and better, eventually these punters can punt the whole length of the field.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Let's see. Average.
And now we've got a 1st and 10 for the Seahawks. Looks like we've got a whistle going on. Man in motion and Jigba going to the right. We've got some adjustment by the defense of Miami, and now he's going to hand it off to Charbonnet. He gets stopped almost immediately, and we got a flag going on. I wonder what this is about.
This is an interesting stat. It says the average punt in the NFL is 45 yards.
It was offense. It was holding on the offense by Connor Williams, so the Seahawks are going to lose yards on that.
The average NFL game will have about 4 punts per team per game. So about 8 punts in a game. Interesting.
You got a 1st and 20. That was a critical 10-yard loss on that one. Penalties, 3 penalties for Seattle. So not as bad as Miami is. They have 8 penalties.
Yep.
On a 1st and 20.
Well, eventually the league is going to become a league where it's mostly all penalties. Where like every player, they're going to be like, you hit someone wrong. You touch somebody, there's a penalty.
And we got a 2-minute warning, and I'm going to have to actually have you silent for a few moments. I'll let you know when you can speak again. I guess got to do a quick recording. I got to make a YouTube short on a way of venting off on the Mariners. All right, thank you. All right, you're cleared. Thanks.
No problem. I put the mute on.
Oh, that helps a lot.
Yes. You said be quiet, so I put on the mute.
Yeah, because I'm moody about it. I'm literally moody about the game.
See, it's like people assume that if you're like you were saying earlier, is that as a fan, it's like you have to be delusional as a fan, hoping for the best all the time. When how can you feel the best about your team all the time? You know,
I don't know.
Knowing history, like the Lions. Did you expect them after all their history to make the playoffs to win the Super Bowl, to make the Super Bowl last year? After all their history. You know what I mean?
I would have expected it. No.
Yeah. So, like, logical wise, like, you know, everybody was like so hyped, and when the Lions win so bad, it's like you want them to win really badly, but you know, in the back of your mind, is it likely going to happen?
Who knows?
Like, what's interesting? Let's see. What team has the most Super Bowls? What NFL team? Let's see, what NFL team has the most Super Bowls? Interesting. So there's a tie. So New England and Pittsburgh are tied for both having 6 Super Bowl wins. So having 6 Super Bowls each. Dallas is at 5. San Francisco is at 5. Kansas City's at 4 now. Yes. And Green Bay.
Looks like we've got Tyler Lockett is not going to get much yards on that as he is behind the line of scrimmage.
There's 12 teams in history that still don't have a Super Bowl. 12 of them. Can you name any other teams that haven't won a Super Bowl yet?
Cleveland Browns haven't won a Super Bowl.
Yep. That's. Yep.
We're looking at 2nd and 22 to Zach Charbonnet, and that's going to go all the way back. That's still going to be about a few yards, but it may not be enough.
And interesting fact about the Cleveland Browns, they haven't even went to a Super Bowl. They haven't even played in one. So.
About to trying to upload this video. It goes. It's been 3 games, and you're already sick of Shane Waldron. I would have warned you that Shane Waldron was a horrible pickup. What are you Bears thinking? You guys have your organization has lost its touch ever since you guys fired Lovie Smith. You guys went with Jay Cutler, Mark Trestman. Like, great job.
But is it Shane Waldron's fault, or is it more of the Caleb Williams fault? Because they say he's been throwing.
No, it's Waldron. I'm blaming everything on Waldron. Waldron, he stagnated the Seahawks.
But the question is Caleb Williams underperforming? They're saying his ball he's throwing is good. He's just not accurate. And is that the offensive coordinator's fault, or is that his fault?
Yeah. No, I'm blaming it on Geno Smith.
Why are you blaming it on Geno Smith?
Geno Smith is not that good.
No, we're talking about because here's the thing is the history.
Got another false start on Charles Cross.
But look at 2 years ago. Shane Waldron was the offensive coordinator, and he had Geno Smith was one of the best quarterbacks in the league 2 years ago. So I can see why they would want to choose him, because he had such good accuracy and was doing so well with Shane Waldron. And so with that, he had a sliding year, but was that...
We got Geno Smith on a 3rd and 22, gives it off to the running back Charbonnet, and not going to get much, and looks like they're going to have to be forced to punt with a minute left in this quarter. Would have been nice to get at least a score.
Yeah, look at Williams still threw for 363 yards. So, I don't know, can you blame Shane Waldron? Because he's not the worst offensive coordinator. The quarterbacks he's done decent with. So I don't know if you can be that harsh on him. You think that if they bring in a different offensive coordinator, that Caleb Williams will be playing better?
I don't know about Caleb Williams. I never really had an impression on him. Usually USC quarterbacks kind of fail. And it looks like we got a punting going to be done by Michael Dixon on the 4th and 19.
So.
And here is... Oh, that was nearly blocked. And that was actually slightly blocked. I think that was slightly blocked.
But still went that far.
It still went pretty far. Yes, you are correct.
They say the average punt is 45 yards.
I know.
Let's see this here. Oh, no. Like, you see his foot? The guy hit his foot. Should that be a penalty?
No, I think
It's the non-kicking. I think it was a non-kicking foot.
he didn't even flop. That was the thing, so you can't really say.
Oh. He did get hit, so that's what I was.
And now here is Skylar Thompson with the pass, and that's going to be caught.
Who
And now
caught
they're
it?
getting close to that field goal range. And we're looking at a 1st and 10. And now here's the pass, and that's going to be complete. And that is not going to be that much yards.
And he hit him so hard the helmet came off.
Yep.
Man, that means the helmet was on too loose.
Hey, Sleepy, how's it going? And that is caught. As we're looking at a 3rd down with clock going down. I think they may just go for that field goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, there's no way you can get a field goal on this one. Never mind. So it looks like they're going to have to go for some kind of a Hail Mary with just 8 seconds left. And we're looking at a 3rd and 4. There's absolutely no rushing going on. They're just trying to go all the way back. And Skylar Thompson has got all the time in the world. And he's going for the pass. Not going to be much, and that's going to be incomplete. And that's going to be the end of the first half as the Seahawks, they have a 17-3 lead. And great first half by the Seahawks thus far. They held Miami to just 3 points, although they pretty much are a broken team, unfortunately, on their end. Got a call on the defense. They get one more play. This has been a very flagful game, as I must say.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at a 1st and 10. Timeout's been called by Seattle, or there's a flag again. Seattle calls a timeout. They've just burned another timeout. I just want to make sure that they're basically trying to ice the offense, if you know what I mean. Men on the field, so the Seahawks called the timeout just in time because they had 5 men. They have 12 men on the field, so that would have warranted a penalty. So it looks like, oh great, because of penalty problems. No, they're not going to do a field goal.
Technically, Carolina has the worst offense in football right now.
Yeah, don't they?
So, if you look at Chicago, their offense is about middle of the pack. So you can't say they're horrible.
The fan decibel levels are not high. It's only up to not even 100, so pretty disappointing on Seahawks fans. As we're looking at a 1st and 10. He's trying to get that snap going, and Skylar Thompson got some time, and is he going to go for that Hail Mary? And he's going to get absolutely blasted. What a way to end the first half. And nothing doing on Skylar Thompson. As we go into the first half, Seahawks lead 17-3, and look at that hit by Hall.
I know.
It was huge.
So, Christian, the actual Panthers, they benched Bryce Young, and now they're playing the older guy. They're playing Andy Dalton. And I think Andy Dalton's a better quarterback, so I think that's why they are playing better.
Yes, a little bit better. But anyways, I gotta roll to the bathroom, get a quick snack because Mariners made me cranky. So here's what do I gotta do on the background? If I have any backgrounding.
I have on the Seahawks are leading 17-3.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a quick snack. I'm gonna turn on the screen. Basically, I'm gonna be back within the next 5 minutes. I just gotta get a quick snack. And be right back. And then we'll talk about the first half in our analysis. So be right back. I'm gonna hit mute on everything. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. We are back. And Epic Sea Films, tell me about give me a positive thing that you saw out of the Seahawks.
Offense.
Offense, huh?
The ability to get open for long drives, for long passes. I really like the long bomb. I'm a big fan of that play. I think that teams should utilize it more and take more risks down the field. I like it when seeing the Seahawks do that.
Okay, then let me put out a positive myself. I'm going to say DK Metcalf.
Okay, yes.
He was open for some really big plays.
Mm-hmm.
He has arguably carried this offense as the best he could. So that is a positive. Now, your turn for a negative.
Special teams.
The inability to stop the return game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say the offensive line as a downside. Not giving Geno Smith enough time, especially led to an interception that should have been a pick six.
So there's kind of the interesting thing about offensive line and stuff like that is that if your quarterback is quick, how good does your offensive line have to be? You know, and so like if your quarterback can get the ball off within 3 seconds and your offensive line can hold up for at least 3 seconds, you're pretty much gonna have good passing. So that's my question is, when a quarterback isn't getting the passes off, do you blame more on the quarterback? Do you blame more on the offensive line? You know,
you go either way.
Yeah, it depends.
It's also about if Geno is able to release it quick.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, most quarterbacks, they're going to have about 50 to 75% passing during the game. You know, on average. So you're saying an average quarterback's going to get you 60% passing the whole game. So if they can make 60% of your passes the whole game, and then all they have to do is hand on the ball off a few other times, as long as they don't have any interceptions and don't have any turnovers, you have a pretty clean game. Would you say 60% pass? You know, with no interceptions and no fumbles, then you've had a clean game.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much where I look at it, where it's like, you know, that's one of the problems is minimizing the turnovers, like with Seahawks. I don't think that turnover was Geno's fault, but they're going to blame it. But the stats show that's Geno's turnover. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And so he gets penalized, even though when you look at it in real time, it wasn't his fault. So
that's fair.
So that's when you look at an interception or fumble, you have to figure out who's the right person to blame. And sometimes the stats don't always show that. Like one of our bad stats last year, I think we've really cleaned up this year, is the ability to keep our penalties down. We were one of the most penalized teams last year. Look at the games now that we're playing. We have less penalties than the team we're playing against. That's good. Mm-hmm. And Geno's a quarterback that can make us a team that could go to the Super Bowl.
No. Why do you think that?
The reason why I think that is because Geno has a good, strong arm that can complete the big passes and has a good accuracy. He is that thing. You know, one of the things that I think all quarterbacks have to deal with in how do they deal with it over time is that I've seen Geno getting better at dealing with the pressure of big situations where he has to scramble. He's gotten better and better at scrambling. Haven't you noticed that? Has his mistakes have gotten less than they were before? I would say yes. And as long as he can keep his mistakes down, we can do great with Geno and make it, because look at, if we have a good defense and we have a good offense and they're solid, we can go far. And yes, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that, oh, we haven't played a good team for the first 3 weeks of the season. We won't know until we play Detroit if we're actually good. Mm-hmm. The last few years we have beat Detroit. The last 2 times we played them. So we have had the upper hand on them. But it has been a blowout in scoring. So it wasn't really much defense played anyway.
That's a fair point. And we're getting close to the start of the third quarter, so we better get ready for this game. Yeah. And hold on, give me about 19 seconds. Hold on.
Are you looking to optimize your office, studio, or man cave? The Glance LED ticker may be for you. It is a customizable LED display providing real-life sports scores, stock prices, crypto, the news, and even the weather. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get 10% off the purchase, and thank you.
All right.
My whole thing here is, when will you finally say the Seahawks are a great team? What will have to happen for you to say they're a great team and you think they have the chance of going far in the playoffs? How many weeks do you have to wait? Does it have to be
Until they win the Super Bowl?
You won't say it till they win the Super Bowl?
Nope. I'm going to hold out for that long.
That's how long you're going to hold out for.
Yep. And now here is Jason Myers going for the kick. And that's going to go all the way to, at the end, they're still going to run it out. And that is going to be, oh, and had contact, but there's a flag out.
Mm-hmm. Remember Estridge used to play for us.
Who?
D'Estridge.
Oh, D'Estridge. Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I even told people earlier this season that we could potentially be as high as like 11-win team. Now I can see that we could be like a 12-win team this year based on how we're playing.
But they're playing bad teams.
Not necessarily that they're horrible teams. And we had to go to overtime against that other team last week. New England has improved. You got to admit. Okay, and Denver is like not the greatest team. So,
kicking team had an illegal formation. Mm-hmm. Looks like it's going to be an offset.
Yeah.
Just going to be a re-kick. A lot of flags, including the kicking situations. All right, let's get this show on the road.
Because we play the Lions next, and then we play the Giants. So we have one hard team, and then we have an easy team, and then we have a hard team again when we play the 49ers.
Mm.
And then we play Atlanta Falcons, which are mediocre. In our first 7 games, we could technically be 5-2 in our first 7 games.
Very much could happen, and we are on the 1st and 10 on the 19.
Yeah.
And here is going to be the pass by Thompson, and here is the pass, and that's going to be caught, and that is going to be about 5 or 6 yards.
Mm-hmm. That'd be funny. That'd be funny if Mike O'Donnell makes the record for the most wins in a row for a starting head coach.
In NFL history, it could be possible. Josh McDaniels had a 6-0 record.
Oh, Josh McDaniels did? Okay.
When he started with Denver.
Okay.
So he wouldn't necessarily have the record yet.
No.
As we're looking at a 2nd and 4 for Miami. And now he is going to hand it off to the running back, and that is, he's got some contact. But he's going to... Oh, no, he doesn't get that first down. Still stuck around at the 3rd down.
Yeah.
And also, for those that have rejoined this show, appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe, and also donate to this YouTube channel by the YouTube Super Chat or going to my PayPal. Actually, more like my Venmo. I can make a link for my Venmo if you would like to support this channel.
Who is Brandon Audrey? So they're a kicker for what team? What team?
Yeah, something maybe you should look it up yourself. And we're looking at a 3rd and 2 as the Dolphins are 0 for 6 in conversions. And now here is Thompson. He gets absolutely just blasted, and that's going to be a sack. And what a sack that was by the Seahawks. And Thompson looks a little bit shaken up on that. That was right to the ribs.
He's Dallas Cowboys. Okay. He's a Dallas Cowboys kicker.
That was pretty much a blitz.
Oh, the last Before he was Dallas Cowboys kicker, he played for the Birmingham Stallions.
And here is a punt by Miami, and that's going to go to, and he gets some contact. That was Williams, and he gets at least 10 yards on that one. That was an okay return, but more like a very average return. Not really much on that. And we got a flag, unfortunately.
He buried a 65-yarder today.
What we got here? Wow. Thompson is getting looked at. He is looking banged up.
Look at how clean that hit is. Look at that.
Football.
That hit, they went there and wrapped their arms and pushed in. Like they did a clean hit. So I don't know. Just that momentum. So if they can't go, do they have their third string ready, which is what would be their practice squad guy, which was something Huntley, Josh Huntley, I think his name is. They just got, who used to back up Lamar
something
Jackson.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, because that was Lamar Jackson's backup for years.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember that Denver game during COVID where they had to play like they had to play like a corner or like their kicker because they couldn't have another quarterback?
Yeah, that was insane.
I'm like, and the league allowed it.
Well, I mean, what else could Denver do? I mean, they were because of COVID, they couldn't really do anything.
I know. Well, remember how many different starting quarterbacks did Cleveland have last year? Was like 4?
Yeah, something like that. It was Watson and then PJ Walker and Joe Flacco. So I think 3.
3 at least, yeah.
And they somehow made the playoffs.
I know. So that goes to show you.
I was happy for Joe Flacco with that run.
Mm-hmm. So that's big stories. Well, yeah. Well, we were also happy that last year when our backup won that one game for us. Remember, it was
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock won
One
that
game. Christian, do I think the Mariners are going to make the playoff? No. No, they will not.
And now
absolutely not.
Now Drew Lock's in the Giants and making more money because of that whole incident.
I mean, I want to look at the remainings of each wild card threats. Tigers.
The Mariners play Houston.
Yeah, they're fucked. I'll be honest. They're fucked.
2-1 at least.
Nope. It won't be good enough. You have to go 3-0 to break even. They're going to be playing Miami at home and Baltimore at home, so I think that's pretty much a lost cause. And then the Tigers, they're going to be playing Tampa and Chicago. Oh my God, Mariners are fucked. Looking at the schedule of
It's funny.
Tigers.
And the one coach was in a sweatshirt, the other one wasn't.
Now here is Geno Smith, and here's a 2nd and 8, and now here's a short pass. That is to DK Metcalf, and that's going to be at least a few yards gain. And we're looking at a 3rd down.
Ooh, player down.
Yeah, and Miami is pretty much banged up right now.
Mm-hmm. That's why people are saying, should they really go to an 18-game schedule? Because football is already this tough on players. Thursday night football crew. Does that excite you? Dallas and New York?
Why would that excite me?
Well, that's Thursday night football game this week for week 4. I don't know. I'd rather have the Giants win than to have the Cowboys win. That'd be funny. They play Dak Prescott all that money and then they end up missing the playoffs this year. That would be.
I mean, it's natural, I guess.
Yeah, it's like he becomes the highest paid quarterback and then he ends up just like missing the playoffs. Well, their division. The same person doesn't win back-to-back years in their division, so it's got to be one of the other 3 teams. Washington's not good enough, so it could be New York or it's got to be Philadelphia.
We're still on commercial break at this moment.
So who's going to win that division? New York could be the surprise team. Watch out for New York. And I kept telling people like half the quarterbacks were going to be duds that were in those first 6 quarterbacks drafted in the draft. And I knew half of them were going to be duds. So the jury's still out. I thought only a third of them were going to be good, like great quarterbacks. So I would think like Matthew Stafford's good. Like, he's getting older, but would I rather have Matthew Stafford or have Dak is what you're asking me? Potentially I would take Matt.
You would take Matthew Stafford, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now we're looking at a 3rd and 6 for the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
3rd and 6, and here we go. Geno Smith is trying to do some kind of audible on a 3rd and 6. Man in motion, that was Fant, and now here's Smith, got some time. Running out of time, and he gets sacked. Gets dropped immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Very disappointing, and that's going to end the run right there. And this has been a very sluggish game for the Seahawks going into that here in the second half.
Like, what would be a surprisingly good pick to create a team around a quarterback? Yeah, you can't trust like Matthew Stafford has a good arm. If you put good targets around him and they're healthy, his team's good. Look at this. This year and 2 years ago, he was bad because his team was injured. Last year, they won 10 games and made the playoffs. So some people say the Seahawks gave him 2 of those wins, but on the other hand, they won those games. So
we covered one of those games too. And now here is a punt by Michael Dixon, and that's going to be a fair catch, and that's going to be inside the 20, inside the 15, more like.
Yeah, and so that at the end of the day, you got to look at that thing and they're saying Matthew Stafford can still ball if he has good receivers around him. Flag again.
Yep, this has been quite the flag football day, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a mariachi band at the game.
Muy bien.
Yeah, Hispanic Heritage Month.
Oh, is it first of the month of September?
Well, September 15th through October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month. It's a weird split month thing they do.
Fitting. I was in Brazil.
Yeah. But that's just interesting. Mm-hmm. Because I think a lot of times people they hype up a team sometimes after having one good success. Like everybody says, oh, now they could win a Super Bowl. Like Houston, they thought they could win a Super Bowl after having that good season they had last year. And it's like that's one time they showed that they were good. Every season's a different situation.
Man, this game has been a very sluggish flag football game.
Yeah. Like who's more overrated, Dak Prescott or Josh Allen?
Dak Prescott.
Because Dak hasn't had much success, but so hasn't Josh Allen. Josh Allen has a little more success, but Josh Allen has all those interceptions. So
Now we're looking at where are we at? First and 10.
Ooh,
Oh,
not
new
close.
quarterback. This is going to be. Well, that's not a quarterback. Wait, do they have a new quarterback? Because Skylar Thompson's hurt. Oh no, they're punting. What was I? They're doing a re-punt. What is going on in this game, man?
Yeah. So take Dak Prescott in his prime and take what's the guy Tony Romo. Who would you rather have, Tony Romo or Dak Prescott in their prime?
Tony Romo.
I think Josh Allen can't handle pressure well.
I guess so.
And I would rather, there's a lot of other quarterbacks I'd rather have over him. Like everybody knows, most people would agree with me, but I don't know if everybody would, is that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league by far. Like no one competes with him. I know a lot of people try to say
He's got a big punt by Michael Dixon, and a fair catch, and that's going to be above the 20.
Yeah. And I would actually rank Lamar Jackson better than Josh Allen in my book. That's just me. I would say Lamar Jackson's better than Josh Allen. I know a lot of people say Josh Allen's second best quarterback in the league, but I don't know. So, but that's who I would put over them.
That's fair.
Yeah. Because they both have the same criticisms almost. They have similar criticisms in slightly different ways, but they both have similar criticisms. They can't get it done in the playoffs. So does Dak Prescott, can't get it done in the playoffs. They usually have decent regular seasons. All those teams do. So sometimes
Skylar Thompson is actually still in this game, considering that he got shaken up pretty badly after that sack. He's a fake off, and here's the throw, and that is going to be caught by Tyreek Hill. And that is the fantasy guy going up against you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Are you nervous for that?
Nope, I'm not.
Because that DK Metcalf moment with that touchdown might actually be the reason why you might win.
Yes, it might be. Mm-hmm. Like this year, someone who I think is slightly becoming overrated is like Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, you think he's overrated?
Philadelphia.
You think he's overrated?
Yeah, I think they hype him up a little too much.
And now here is a second down, and that is going to be caught by the running back. He nearly got sacked on that one, but got off in time, and that's going to be about 5 yards.
Ooh, he's down.
And Thompson is out again, and Seahawks really have been beating him up badly.
Look at the coach's reaction.
The coach's reaction, he wanted that roughing the passer. And there's going to be another quarterback. He is warming up right now. It's a third string quarterback.
Oh, yeah. So they have 4 quarterbacks on their team. So there's someone else I didn't know about they have on their team. Yeah.
I wonder who the quarterback is for Miami.
I need to see that one guy play more to know if he's actually as good as what people think he is like Jordan Love. He got injured this year, but people were saying he was supposed to be really good last year, and I'm like wondering if he's really that good.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta play an ad.
SoFi is an online bank and a personal financing company offering financial diverse products. They hold the naming rights to the home of the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers, named SoFi Stadium. They offer amazing checking and savings accounts where you can get up to 4.6% on savings accounts. There are no monthly fees to maintain the accounts, and they have over 55,000 no-fee ATMs around the United States. You even have access to a budgeting program, stock trading, and insurance programs. Join SoFi and get $25 for joining and or $25 for opening a stock trading account. Links are available in the description. And thank you. And lastly, I am not a financial advisor, so either find a professional financial advisor or go with your own gut.
Yeah, go with your own gut, punks. Yep, we're on the commercial break, still waiting this game to return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And everybody thought that the Raiders this year were going to be really bad this year, and the Raiders don't look that bad this year. The Raiders.
Yeah.
For not even drafting a quarterback.
Thompson is still down. He's still having a hard time getting up.
Hmm.
This could be a sluggish game for the rest of the way.
At least it's not a concussion.
Yeah.
Like, at least he didn't get a concussion, and he is like walking.
Now he gets up on his feet, so he is at least able to get up on his own power.
But that's the thing is, like, when you have no protection and the guy's just coming right in and hitting you, like, look at this. Our guys are coming right in and just sacking him. Look at this.
Yeah, they just got right after him.
Like, he's taken a couple big hits. I'm like, he's lucky he didn't get hurt worse, because look at these hits. They're like, you have like a 200-pound guy coming at you. Let's say you're 200 pounds and you have a 200-pound guy coming at you, the same size as you. Can you really withstand that blow? How much can you withstand that blow when they're coming at you?
You can only withstand it so much.
Yeah, and if the guy's coming at least 10 miles an hour at you, let's just say. I don't know how fast they are, but they're coming in at least with a 10-mile-an-hour like momentum.
Dude, I'm actually in danger of losing in my fantasy football league.
Haven't you won a week already?
I won, yeah. And now here is the run, and that's gonna be a 3rd down and short. I'm losing by almost 40 points in my fantasy football league. I could possibly lose to a guy that has 2 guys injured in their starting lineup, giving 0 points.
So we have Tim Boyle. Boyle.
Boyle.
He basically is. He was born in Hartford,
3rd and 1, and now here is and the fumble. And I wonder if the Seahawks recovered that. Did they recover? Looks like we're going to find out, and looks like Miami has the ball.
So he basically has been bumming around the league since 2018. He played for Connecticut, and he also played for Eastern Kentucky University. He was undrafted in 2018. Okay? So what do you think of this player?
Yeah. And we got a 4th and 3, and looks like they are going for it on 4th down, because why not? They really got not much to lose. And I think they were just trying to get them to jump, but they didn't really get an opportunity to do that. So it's going to be a timeout called, and I think they're going to have to punt.
This Tim Boyle guy has only started ever 5 games in his whole NFL career since 2018. So basically, like in 6 seasons, he's started like five games. Last year, he was playing for the Jets. As a starter, he's 0-5.
And we're looking at a 4th and 3. I think they're going to go for it. Yep, they are going for it. I don't know if they're going to get them to jump or anything. Nope, they're going to play. And now here is the set, and now here is the pass, and that is incomplete.
Woo!
And that's going to be a turnover right there.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Nice spiral, though. It was just good defense by our players. Good defense. The hand bat, good defense. But how much do you think that hurts when the ball's coming with that speed at your hand? How much do you think that hurts?
It would hurt.
Like, you see most players are wearing gloves now.
Huh? And we're looking at a 1st and 10. And I would like to see the Seahawks score because it seems that they have really taken their foot off the gas pedal.
Mm-hmm. Gas pedal.
The toss to Charbonnet, he gets actually about 5 yards on that.
Flag. Let's see what this is all about. Ooh, is it going to be on defense or going to be on offense? Offense.
Yep. Holding on the offense.
What's crazy is Sam Darnold had 4 touchdowns today, passes, and I still might win my matchup. He had one good guy basically today.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's all you need is one good player. Sometimes.
And Geno Smith's got a 1st and 20 to work with.
Yep.
And he's got some time. No, he's running out of time, and he's going to have to probably throw this away, and he will throw it away.
Yeah. Yeah, DK is helping me win this matchup this week. Let's see. Let's go in here. Let's go to the leagues. Where's Joe? Let's see. What percentage? Joe, you have a 26% chance of winning this week.
Oh, do I?
Yeah. And this guy has 2 guys who have scored, like you said, nothing. That's crazy. And
now here is Geno Smith. He's got the throw and way incomplete. And that's going to be a 3rd and 20.
Mm-hmm.
And this offense has been very sluggish in this half.
Look at this. He had 2 running backs because he had 2 running backs scoring a whole bunch of points. I had Singletary last year. He did squat last year. And look at this guy had
I literally might lose this week.
Like, you're right. Look at this.
And we're looking at a 3rd and 20 for Geno Smith.
They're not really throwing to Jackson Smith and Jigba.
No, they're not really throwing to anything. It looks like we got a flag. It's like it's a false start. False start on the offense. This is where I'm concerned. Like this, they're going 3-0. Maybe they could go 3-0, but the problem is they've been playing almost nobody. They've only beaten up a rookie quarterback in Denver. They still barely won that game. Yeah. And then the Patriots, they barely won that game, and they're also a pretty bad team.
No.
And now they're playing.
The Broncos game, they outright won that game. The Broncos.
No, they didn't. They got lucky.
No, they didn't get lucky in that game because that was the last. That was like in the 4th quarter, middle of the 4th quarter. That was that touchdown. We were dominating that
3rd
game.
and 25. And now here's Smith. He's going to hand it off to Charbonnet, and he's got at least some decent yardage, and he's still running. It goes past the 50, but that's not going to get much done as we're going to have to punt the ball away once again.
In the Broncos game, the only reason why that was a 1-score game is because that towards like it was like 2/3 into the 4th quarter, they scored that thing. So the game was already kind of over by then. You know, you really expected them to have a comeback in that game. We were dominating that game. So I would say that the other game was not a domination, which was the New England game. The New England game was a more like we scraped by, you know.
That's fair.
So that's how I look at it a little bit differently. But yeah, one of those games wasn't like
Michael Dixon's going to punt. And that is going to... And there should be a flag on that. I think there should be a flag on that, as there was some kind of collision going on.
Like, this game's been a dominating game. We're outright. You got to admit, we're outright winning this game.
No, the Dolphins are just losing this game.
You think so?
Yes.
But still, we're dominating it because we could be playing bad too, and we're at least playing good. You can't say that this game's a close game.
I can't believe I'm going to lose to a team that doesn't even check his lineup.
Look, they're projected to have 115 points this week, and you're only supposed to have 98. You're not even going to get 100, 98.5. You're not even going to get 100 points this week. And like, how often do you win when you score under 100 points? Rare. Has anyone done it yet in our league so far? First week. Every team that won had over 120 points.
Oh
That
man.
won. The second week, let's see the second week. The second week, every team had one team had 119.8, but literally you needed at least 119 points to win. You can't score under 100 points and expect to win a matchup. It's impossible. Well, not likely. I might only score 104 points to be the lowest scoring team to ever win a matchup so far. Isn't that crazy, Joe?
Yeah.
You wish you were playing eight equals this week because you might have a chance of winning against them. You would have played the team I'm playing.
This game is really putting me to sleep. I can tell you that.
It is.
Yes.
Do you have any other plans for tonight? Any other games
Yeah.
you're going to be watching?
Going to work tonight.
So you're not going to watch the night game?
Nah.
Kansas City?
Nah.
Yeah. Hey, I can, after seeing what I've been seeing so far, I could really see Kansas City doing a three-peat as Super Bowl champs.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, like I was saying, their team is still very strong and hard to beat. Interesting. It would take a huge movement. It would take a huge movement to have another women's football league because the closest thing they have is the lingerie football league. You know?
Yeah, that's about it.
I think the next step would be instead of doing the lingerie, they do a flag football league for women. I could see something like that.
1st and 10, and that's going to be handoff to the running back, and he's got some running lanes, and that's going to be a first down. And I think we got another flag out there, and I think this could be a holding call.
Yeah, but I think that'd be the next step of moving away from lingerie football is flag.
It was holding on the offense.
I keep leaning. I'm sorry, I'm leaning.
Yeah, you are.
Leaning off the screen. Do you think the Broncos are going to make the playoffs this year? You think Bo Nix?
I don't know. No, probably not.
Will they win more than 8 games?
Nah. And we're looking at a 1st and 20. And that's going to be a small run there, but nothing much doing.
But I gotta say that our defense has improved a lot since last year.
Yeah, you can say that. But it's not saying much. That's like saying the shit that I took last night was better than the shit that I took the night before.
But we went from 30th to basically now potentially 20th. We might have went up 10 spots.
You want me to get it? I'll give you a reaction. Say that again in commercial break, and I have a treat for you on that.
Okay.
We got a 2nd and 17, going for a short pass to Tyreek Hill, catches it, and he gets tackled, balled up immediately. We got a 3rd down. And my fantasy team really is breaking ranks. I might actually lose this week to a team that doesn't even check his team with 2 guys scoring 0.
Yeah.
And we're looking at a 3rd and 11 by Tim Boyle. And now here is the handoff. And that's a big hole right there. And that's going to be a 4th and short. And I wonder if they're going to go for it on 4th down. If you're the Miami Dolphins, do you go for it on 4th down or do you just punt it away?
You go for it. You have nothing to lose right now. What do you have to lose in this game?
I guess so.
You don't have nothing to lose. It's one loss. It's you really think you're going to pull out of this? Why would you punt? It's
they're punting. They're punting. I would like to see the Seahawks offense do something good. And we're we're looking at a 4th and 1. And there's the punt. And that is going to be fair catch. It's going to be below the 20.
But here's my thing about it is that a team like any team is like, as long as you play better than your competition that you're playing that week, a win's a win. It doesn't matter as long as you win the game.
No, it's how you win. Because it determines how they would play the next teams.
Not necessarily, because you could play this like slightly better than your competition every week. You could play up to your competition every week. But you wanted me to say that thing again, or no? It's not a commercial break yet.
Not commercial break yet.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at a 1st and 10. Gino's got the running back right next to him, and here is Gino with a quick pass. Good quick pass, and that's going to be caught by Noah Fant. And we get some positive yardage on that one. That's what I like to see is quick throws by Geno Smith. Because sometimes he does hold the ball too long. As we are looking at a 2nd and 4 for Geno Smith. And now here it is. He has some time to pass. Another quick throw, and that is to Tyler Lockett, the man of Mr. Longevity.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people are saying we're the 6th best defense because we actually have allowed the 6th least amount of yards per game.
And now we've got a 1st and 10 once again. Here's Geno Smith. Here's a pass, and that's going to be caught by Noah Fant again, and he still is up, and he's going close to the half field.
Hey, Noah Fant's getting more fantasy points than Smith.
Geno Smith?
No. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, only is 2.5. Don't remind me!
I had to remind you of that. I'm like, I told you Noah Fant's not the... He could get you some fantasy points. I'm saying he's not the worst tight end.
This is painful.
I'm wondering if anyone has Noah Fant.
And we're looking at a 1st and 10 again for Geno. And he's going for another quick pass, and that is to Charbonnet. Catches it, and he goes pretty gainage on that one. Yeah. That's what I like about Geno Smith. Like, when he can make quick passes, he can do damage.
Yep. And he's pretty accurate, you know.
And it looks like the Rams are about to score a touchdown, and they have scored the touchdown.
Well, they're still in that game.
They're still in it.
They can still win that game.
You know who I'm cheering for? I'm cheering for a tie. And we're looking for a 2nd and 2.
But I'd rather have the Rams win than the 49ers. We're talking about.
That's fair. 2nd and 2. Now here's Smith again, the pass, and that is caught. Nice quick passes to the tight end. And it gets to the 40 on Miami's territory.
Did you get why? It's like... Because if you had to rank the teams, I'd say in our division, the Seahawks are my favorite team. If I had to choose a second team, it'd be Arizona Cardinals. And then if I had to go third, I think it would be Rams and 49ers would be my least favorite. If I had to rank the teams in the division, how do you rank the teams?
I'm not sure. As we're looking at the 1st and 10, clock is going down, and now here's Smith, another pass, and that's going to be caught. And this one might actually lose yards this time. Mm-hmm. He does.
Yeah. That's just how I rank the teams on my likability of the teams in our division. Does somebody have Noah Fant on their team?
Darrell Bevel is on this team still in the football world.
You can still claim. Someone can still claim Noah Fant. Right now, they have 8.8 fantasy points.
And now here is Geno Smith, and he's going to get sacked and dropped badly.
Wow.
They went full blitz on Geno Smith.
Yeah, that's some of the best. Oh, flag.
Intentional grounding on Geno Smith.
Yep, that was not a receiver. Cross is not a receiver.
Yep. Has to be towards the receiver, I believe. You can't just throw it away when you feel like it.
You can't. If you're out of the pocket, you can throw the ball away. But if you're in the pocket,
Yeah, that's the thing. He was clearly in the pocket.
yeah. So, just yeah.
And we're looking at a long third down. 3rd and 21.
We can still get this back.
I don't know if he can. And now here's Smith nearly bobbled it. And now he's going for the big pass. That is battled down. And that's going to be intercepted again. Second interception. And now a turnover.
Wow.
I cannot believe what I just saw.
And
Miami's still very much in this game, too.
But they're still 14 points down. It's like they haven't done squat since like that one field goal. And I was like, we kind of gave them
2 interceptions by Geno Smith.
Yeah, but I saw a game earlier, like I was talking about Jalen Hurts earlier. He had a fumble and an interception in that game, and people say he's a great quarterback. So all quarterbacks have these problems. They say that most interceptions by a quarterback since he got into the league was Josh Allen. So
1st and 10 for Miami, and now they may have the momentum, and that's going to be stopped immediately. Probably about a 2-yard gain.
Well, if this is all they do, if they just do like handoffs, if we're just have good run defense, they can't do nothing. Then Miami's going to go no yards and not get it. They're going to have to punt again.
I still can't believe I'm losing to a guy that doesn't even have 2 guys on. Didn't even set up his lineup.
Look, there's a guy in free agency. Noah Fant in free agency has 8.8. I think he has better than most of your guys on your team.
As we're looking at a 2nd and 9. And here is going to be the pass, and that is going to be incomplete. I wonder if any flag. Yep, there's a flag, and no surprise on that one. And he is just absolutely shocked. Witherspoon is shocked. Pass interference, and this is going to be on the defense of the Seahawks. Pass interference on the defense.
Like I told you, Goff only averages about 17 points a week. You know, Goff's not the greatest.
That was clearly pass interference. Like there was no reason to be shocked by that.
But they both jumped at the same time.
No, you just can't make any kind of contact.
I told you, Goff's not the greatest fantasy stat quarterback.
Yeah, I messed up on that, didn't I?
Because I told you he plays about Geno level, which is about 17 points a week. He's been averaging what? Like he's been averaging 10 points.
No, I was so close to get Pat Mahomes. I was trying to get Pat Mahomes in the 4th round.
Me too. I was trying to get Pat Mahomes too, but
you ended up settling with by 1 pick.
But I got Jalen Hurts and I got Geno. So I have better quarterbacks than you.
I think I should have picked Joe Burrow.
You had C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud only had 10.8. So you really you messed up worse than me on quarterbacks. You got to admit, I had a better quarterback selection than you.
And then Jackson Smith and Jigba was on the 5th round was quite a reach.
Yeah, you went Jackson Smith. What did I get DK for? What, 3rd round or something? Or 4th?
You got him in the 3rd round.
Yeah. So you got Jackson Smith 4th round?
Jackson Smith and Jigba in the 5th round.
That was a little bit of a stretch.
It very much was a stretch.
Because you could have waited on them.
I could have gotten Tank Dell.
Because they're only averaging 10 points a week.
Yep.
There's guys in free agency that did better than that.
Brian Robinson was a good pick so far.
One of my best picks so far has been this J.K. Dobbins guy.
Of course you picked Geno Smith.
But J.K. Dobbins has been really good. Look at this. This guy averages 17.1 points a week. Because even this week when he had a lower week, he still averaged 8.4 points. Now it's like in the other 2 weeks he was averaging over 20. You know. So I lucked out with the J.K. Dobbins for a running back. And you wanted Smith so badly. You kept telling me you wanted Smith so badly. He averages 6.5 points a week. Do you want to trade for him?
Jackson Smith and Jigba?
No, Swift. Do you want
Who's
DeAndre Swift?
No, I don't trade, remember?
Hey, if you want to trade, we've traded before. Remember when we used to do Jamal Adams and Wesley Matthews trades? Remember that? Remember those ones?
I guess so.
What? You used to be a trader with me.
Nope, those days are over. And we're looking at a 1st and 10 as they are in their own Seahawks territory. And he's got all day to pass, and he's just going to run, and that may actually, no, not a first down, but he got gainage on that one.
He's got more mobility than the other guy. Why did they start this guy? He almost looks better than the other guy.
No idea.
Wow, this guy looks better than the other guy.
And we're looking at a 2nd and 4. And he's going to hand it off to the running back. And he's going to get maybe 2 yards on that. It's going to be a 2nd and 2. A 3rd and 2, sorry.
Or 3rd and 1 is what they're saying.
No, that's what they're saying, isn't it?
Look at this. Carolina.
Carolina is just annihilating the Raiders. They
changed quarterbacks and ended up dominating a team. Raiders aren't the greatest team, but still, them actually winning a game.
It's a shock.
Well, you know, are they going to blame this on Bryce Young?
Probably. He could be a bust. I remember I wanted the Seahawks to tank for him.
And look at this. This might
3rd and 1. Now here's the handoff, and that's going to be a 1st down.
Yeah, but that's crazy. You think about this. You benched that guy. They kept saying their offensive line was horrible, and Bryce Young had no receivers. And all of a sudden, Andy Dalton can win you a game with the same, basically, offensive line and receivers. Nothing changed. Just Andy Dalton, just quarterback. And all of a sudden, they're crushing a team.
All of a sudden,
you can't. Then how can you not say that is it a Bryce Young problem? This happened last year, and he played slightly better than him. It wasn't like he played a lot better than him, but today he's stepping up.
1st and 10, and now we're going for a pass, and that's gonna be caught, and they're getting into the red zone.
I'm wondering what Andy Dalton's fantasy points are.
Boyle's doing really well right now.
Yeah, I know. This guy's better than the other guy.
Yeah, better than Skylar Thompson.
I'm like, well, after just a couple of plays, I'd rather start this guy than the other guy. I would bring the other guy back. Look at this. He didn't play.
1st and 10.
You want to know how many points Andy Dalton has this week?
And now here is the pass, and that's going to be broken up. How many passes?
No, how many points? Andy Dalton literally has 24.8 points. And you could have got him off a free agency, could have played Andy Dalton, and could have won your matchup with Andy Dalton. You're losing because you didn't pick up Andy Dalton, of all things. Wow, isn't that sad? You might have won because of Andy. Wow.
It hurts.
One of the craziest things, like you end up going to free agency, picking up an Andy Dalton quarterback, and all of a sudden you have
How was I supposed to know that? As we're looking at a 2nd and 10, by the way. Here's Boyle. He's got all day to pass, and that's going to be caught, and that's going to be a 1st down.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing is you couldn't. How can you count that? You didn't know that Andy Dalton was going to play this good. I knew he was a decent quarterback. I knew he could get you 15 points, but I didn't know he was going to get you like 25. So, yeah. And this Boyle guy's coming in and showing off.
Seahawks are not looking good.
Another guy injured. This sport is just, guys get injured so easily.
Even with the restrictions.
I know. It's like, should they put, like, people say, should this eventually just become flag football? Get rid of, like, almost all.
And there's still going to be, like, record injuries because here's what I think. I think because of these rules, players are not as conditioned as they used to be. Because back then, they made sure that those players were heavily conditioned for big hits like that back then. And now, not so much.
But also the other thing is like these rules make it hard for the players to hit, and they make more mistakes sometimes because they don't understand the nuances of the rules sometimes.
And don't forget, non-contact injuries is also a thing.
Yeah. Just like you're running and you could pull a hamstring.
Yep. As we're looking at a 1st and goal.
Yeah.
Got 12 minutes left to go in this game. And here's Tim Boyle. And now he's going to hand it off. And that's going to be bottled up.
Wow.
And the Seahawks defense tends to step up in the red zone.
Yep. We've allowed the 6th least amount of yards per game so far this year.
6th least?
Yeah.
So I guess the... tell me more of that in the commercial break.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've been doing really well.
Now we got a 2nd and goal. There's a Broncos. No, those are Miami fans. I thought those Broncos.
Yeah, first it looked like Broncos jerseys. Yeah.
2nd and goal. And now here's the handoff. And that is going to be some gainage. That's going to be about a 3rd down. And now we got 3rd and goal.
From like the 2-yard line, looks like.
Yeah, going to the 2.
Yeah, this is big.
Dallas Cowboys are just getting absolutely annihilated.
Dallas isn't that great of a team, like I said.
How about them Cowboys?
Remember last year they lost to Arizona and everyone was dissing on Arizona, and that was when they had like a backup quarterback?
Yeah. Cowboys just aren't good.
They're overrated.
And we're looking at a 3rd and goal. And now here is going to be the pass, and that's going to be, and that is incomplete. Dropped at the last second.
Wow. Do they go for it here or do they kick the field
I mean,
goal?
what do you think they should do? Do you think they should go for it, or should they
What do they have
just
to lose?
take the 3 points?
What do they have to lose?
I would take the 3 points because the Seahawks offense has been absolutely sluggish.
But our offense could come back. So I would go for it.
Looks like they're going for it. Looks like they're going for it. I could hear the noises.
Yeah.
Yep, you could hear it.
Like I said.
They are absolutely going for it on 4th down. And worst case scenario, the Seahawks will still be in an unfavorable position. And now here is going to be the pass, and here's the throw, and that is going to be incomplete.
Just way
and
too
no
high.
flags. No flags whatsoever.
Who could have caught that? That was way high.
It was high. 17-3 still remains. And Epic C Films, tell me about the Seahawks defense.
So what I was saying earlier is on average right now, they've been allowing the 6th least amount of actual like yards per game. And so
Okay. Do you know? Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
So that's actually a really good stat for them because last year they were not doing any of that and stuff like that.
Well, here's how I feel about that. That's how I feel.
And the Seahawks are middle of the pack for allowing points. Middle of the pack. The worst team for allowing points is Carolina. But after this week, it's going to change because Carolina just like flipped the switch.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's why teams keep paying all that money to Andy Dalton. He's like one of the highest paid backup quarterbacks. You know that?
It's a pretty good gig to have. But hey, he grinded all the way to get to that position.
Yeah, he makes like I think $2 million a year just as a backup quarterback. And you're like, really? So he was a starter for years on was it Cincinnati? He was their starter for a year, so you can't say he's a bad quarterback.
Can't.
Yeah. Let's see, where is it? See, the Seahawks they're allowing the 3rd least amount of passing yards this year.
But don't forget, who are they playing again? They played a Broncos with a rookie quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, who's a career backup quarterback, and Miami didn't even have Tua. So I think it's a little bit inflated.
So, well, this is just from the first 2 weeks. This is after
Oh,
this week change.
they're showing the game where Miami played Seattle. They were showing Dan Marino's final playoff victory. 1999.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's like, yes, we're doing well, but yes, we're also playing not the best of teams in the league. That is true. So,
And it looks like Charbonnet was handed the ball, and he gets maybe a few yards on that. And I wonder if Seahawks are just going to try to kill this clock, which I wouldn't. I would still try to see if you can score once again to give your offense confidence.
because that Boyle guy, if you do you agree with me that Boyle is a better quarterback than Thompson?
He's looked better, yeah. Now here is
So
Geno
far.
Smith already getting blitzed, and here's the pass, and that's going to be barely caught by Jackson Smith and Jigba, and looks like we've got a flag.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
25
15-yard penalty. Wow. 25 yards worth of work. My friend Mike in my league, I texted him the picture of the score that I'm losing badly. He says, that's just sad.
Yeah, because it's like sometimes when a team doesn't even play, like if your right pieces step up in the right combinations, it's like you basically get to
First and 10, and now here's the pass, and that's what I like better, and that's going to be caught by DK Metcalf. You know what's our best moment together when I did that whole, and that is caught by DK Metcalf. Yeah, yeah. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was our best moment together.
So this Jawan Jake Jennings guy, the San Francisco guy, this wide receiver, he had 40.8 points. You could have claimed him from fantasy this week. A wide receiver. Wow, there's a wide receiver. What? This is crazy. Look at this. There's a wide receiver. There's all these players in free agency that are doing so well right now. Wow. Malik Willis and Andy Dalton.
I'll start on the offense.
Isn't this crazy, Joe? Look at this. Okay. There's like 10 pieces here that have good stats this week for fantasy that are all on our free agency list. Even the Green Bay Packers defense. They had 23 points this week.
Thanks for reminding me.
I chose the wrong pieces for free agency last week. I did horrible choosing. Wow.
Oh, no, the bobble in the pass, and that's going to be
Caught.
close to a first down.
That's caught. But wow, that's insane to think about. Like, you never know what pieces are going to be good each week.
That was a heart attack moment that we just saw. He dropped the ball, and Geno Smith still got it.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to get it.
And
Got 8 minutes left in this game.
Jake Bobo has done nothing this week.
And also, I got to warn all of you that I do got to take off right after this. Right after this game, I literally got to take off.
Yeah. What do
we
you
are
think?
looking at 8:01 left in this game.
Yeah.
And we got a 1st and 10. And clock is running down, and now he finally gets it off, and now here's the pass, and that's going to be caught by Noah Fant, and he's getting at least 10 points on that one. I think he has scored a total of 10 points.
Yeah.
So had you had someone pick up Noah Fant, could have gotten 10 points. Had I picked up Noah Fant, I'd be closer.
No, you know who had 40 points this week?
Who?
Jennings in free agency.
Who?
Jennings from
San Francisco?
Yeah.
And look at me. I'm losing to this team.
Yeah, all because of you could have went to free agency and had a better team.
2nd and 2. And now here's Smith with a nice pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's going for big yardage, and he's going into the field goal range.
That might help you a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, look at all these other players in free agency.
I'm cutting it to 26 right now. That was a nice 18-yard reception by Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Look at this. That Malik Willis guy had 25.3 points this week. And Andy Dalton has 24.6.
And now we got a 1st and 10. They are in the field goal range.
Wow.
And now here is the handoff to Zach Charbonnet. He gets a big opening, and that's going to be a big 1st down for the Seahawks. And that's going to be 17. I'm sorry. It's going to be a 1st and 10 still.
Look at this. Justin Fields had 18.4 this week. I'm like, really, all these players. The biggest surprise was the Green Bay Packers defense at 23.
1st and 10 we've got so far. And Geno Smith hands it to Charbonnet again. He's trying to burn clock, and he is still going,
yeah!
and he gets a 1st down once again.
Yes, that 1st down by him. Woo!
He does it.
That was a good run. Stiff arming those two guys.
A little bit of a shirt pull on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at 1st and 10.
Come on, Geno.
And he's going for the handoff to Charbonnet, and he still get gain on that. And finally, Charbonnet has really stepped up. So whoever has Charbonnet, congratulations. I wonder if anyone who has Zach Charbonnet right now.
I think someone in our league does.
Well, I would think so too. If you can find it for me, maybe. I know you don't have him, but you might actually win this week.
Yeah, for the first time this season.
Maybe I'll go 1-6 again. Have to make that huge run like I did last season.
Right. I thought you already won a game this year.
No, maybe I'll start. I'm saying what? Maybe I'll start 1-6 again.
Yeah.
And we're looking at a 2nd and 7. Got 5 minutes left in this game. Time is slipping away. Now here is a handoff to Charbonnet again. And he's going for a run. He breaks away, breaks the tackle, and he's going to get in there for the touchdown. Charbonnet with his 2nd touchdown of the game, and that may have just iced the game for the Seahawks. He actually did really well in that drive, and he finishes it with a touchdown.
So Fam Price had Kenneth Walker III. So
He did, huh?
Yeah, so Fam Price got hurt on Kenneth Walker. He also had A. Brown, who was out. So he had 2 people out.
Zach Charbonnet has had a big day today. Finally stepped up to the plate. And the kick, and it is good. $91 yards for Zach Charbonnet today. So if you had him on your fantasy team, congratulations. And looks like this may just ice the game right there. Wonder what happened to Kenneth Walker today.
He's still out, remember? He didn't play.
True.
That's what I was telling you. Remember there was like that joke about Zach Charbonnet, the Chardonnay he had?
Something like that.
Yeah. They made a joke about him having like an alcoholic beverage because his name was so closely related. Or sounded so close.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. SEAW has them. So SEAW, what team is that one? League.
SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you.
And we are back from the break.
Seattle Water Bottles has Zach Charbonnet.
Did he play him?
Seattle Water Bottles, let's see if they actually played Zach Charbonnet.
He didn't. Wait.
Nope. He didn't play. He's on the bench. And he has 25.7 points right now.
Oh, I would have been screwed.
No, but you know who he played instead?
Who?
You know who he's played instead? He had Derrick Henry who had 29.6. And that's not his only person he had. Because he had one running back that did nothing for him, basically. So Derrick Henry made up for that because he averaged basically about 15 and 15. And then you have the Singletary who had 18.8. So
my team is dead.
So even if he would have had that guy instead of the other guys, it would have been. If he would have traded out one of his bad players, he would have just destroyed you even more.
It hurts.
Because Derrick Henry made up for the other guy not being there. He basically made up the other half of the points. Because he, if your team can average, each player averages 15 points, you're good.
Now we got 1st and 10. Less than 5 minutes left in this game. Now here's Boyle going for the pass, and that's going to be caught, and he gets to get the first down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Skylar Thompson. He had 4.2 fantasy points this week. Last week he had 3.6.
We're looking at a 1st and 10. Wonder if anyone's been making progress on my fantasy team.
Nope. Tim Boyle has 2.4. He almost has as many fantasy points as Skylar Thompson.
That's just sad.
That's so funny. It's like you play one drive, you have almost as many fantasy points as the other guy.
I'll tell you what's sad.
What?
Oh man, I could have drafted Trevor Lawrence over. Except Lawrence hasn't been that good.
Well, has he been better than Goff?
No, Goff's been slightly better.
But Lawrence, yeah. So that's the point.
Deshaun Watson actually would have been a better pick for me than Jared Goff, believe it or not. We're looking at a 4 for our 1st and 10. And now here is going to be the pass by Boyle. He's overwhelmed and gets caught by the running back, and he actually still gains yard, but there's a flag out there. Yep, you are correct. There is a flag.
But I think my best pick, my most surprising person on my team has been J.K. Dobbins. Even though I didn't play him the first week, he's been my best surprise on my team. Because J.K. Dobbins has been my best surprise on my team. You gotta admit that's I think that was my best pick. What round did I get J.K. Dobbins?
Who knows? But hopefully this game ends quickly as we're looking at a 1st and 15.
I drafted him 135th. So that was really late in the draft.
1st and 15. And now here is going to be a pass, and that is going to be caught, and he's going to get a big opening and a big hole, and he's going into the field goal range.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. telling you, this guy's better than the other player.
I get it would appear so.
But if this guy can start playing better, Dave Mertz might not be that bad.
First and
actually.
10, and now here is a pass, and that's going to be caught, but only about 2 yards of gain right there.
But if this is him stepping in the middle of a partway through a game and still in a playing this way, he could potentially make the team decent.
A lot of people are leaving my show.
Why is that?
Game's over.
Oh.
Now here's
look at that
8, and there's a sack, but there's a flag. Wonder if it's a holding call. If it's a holding call, it'll probably be declined. No, looks like we'll see.
Let's see who did what.
Oh no. Oh.
He has 3.6. He outdid his teammate. The Boyle guy outdid his teammate today.
Yeah.
That doesn't say much. That doesn't. Oh no, he needs 4.2, so he's at 3.6. So he needs a little bit more. So he hasn't done it yet. He almost has done it. I'm trying to go, Tim. We just need him to get a few more yards, and then basically not say outdid his teammate.
Now we've got Tim Boyle, and now he's going for a big pass, and that is going to be incomplete.
Look at the guy on the sidelines catch it.
And you know what's the crazy thing? If the Seahawks turn the ball over, they could actually pretty much knee the entire game, the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see Sam Howell get some reps.
Do you like him more than Drew Lock, or do you like Drew Lock more?
I think in terms of upside, I'd go for Sam Howell.
Okay. Well, he's a little bit younger.
Yeah, a little bit younger. I never liked Drew Lock. That was the problem.
I think Drew Lock was fine. Like, I don't think he was horrible.
One lucky game. One lucky
game.
4th and 19, and they're going for it, and this could be it. And now here's Boyle looking to pass, and he's getting overwhelmed, and now he has to run out of it. And he's going for a big pass, and I wonder if this will be caught. Nope, not even close.
The guy pushed our guy down.
Yeah, he pushed our own guy down, and looks like that is going to be the end of this game. And the Seahawks are going to come away with a victory.
Right now, the Seahawks defense has 12 points.
Seahawks defense did hold up fine.
Yeah. The Lions defense had 7. So it was actually smarter for me to play Seahawks over Lions this week.
It really was.
Yeah, even though last week it wasn't. Because last week the Seahawks only had 5 and the Lions had 9. So I did bad last week.
Looks like Epic Sea Films is going to come away with this victory.
Potentially. If things go good. I'm at a 74% chance of winning right now. Basically, Tyreek Hill had 7 points.
And now here's Geno Smith handing it off. And it's just going to be a matter of time that they just burn this clock down.
Basically, his bright spot of his whole team was basically Sam Darnold.
Pretty much.
The guy I played against. He had some guy named In Harris who had 13.6, but that...
Najee Harris.
The rest of his team had less than 10 besides 2 guys, so it wasn't like I had to do too much to win.
209 yards allowed total for the Seahawks defense.
Yeah.
Now here's a 2nd and 8, and he's going to hand it off to the running back again. And he's going to get some big yards on that, and that's going to be a 3rd down. And I think I would throw the ball this time.
Yeah, I literally have. I'm only going to score I'm going to score less points than last week and win my matchup this week. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, it's sad. And looks like they're going to go all the way down to the 2-minute warning. Yep, it's the 2-minute warning.
Wow, Joe, you're only gonna. They say projected. You're only gonna get 91.6 points. That's bad. That's like
and
my
I'm
first
losing to
That's
the
like my
Seattle Water Bottles. And why don't you give me analysis on how his team is doing in actuality? Tell me who I'm exactly losing to.
You're losing to Seattle Water Bottles, who's projected to get 114.9 points this week with 2 guys out. So isn't there like 9 guys who play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 positions who play. And so literally like it's only 7. So you're talking about basically they have 91 points with like, so if they get like 115 points basically. Let's do the math on this. 115 points divided by 7 is 16 points per player. Literally, you're getting 16 points per player with 2 guys. Wow.
I'm glad you're enjoying this at my expense.
Well, you should see my first week. My first week was bad. I got destroyed 125.1 to 90.2. My team underperformed horribly.
I'm about to lose to the Seattle Water Bucks. I said this was going to be a bye week.
You jinxed yourself by calling it a bye week. Don't ever jinx yourself. You think something's easy and it's never easy. If this team plays this good the rest of the season, he can win games with having 200 guys just sitting there. That's sad. Look at this. If I would have played him, I would have lost this week potentially. Let's see who else could have lost this week. We know that 8 equals D would have lost. I potentially could have lost based on projections right now. The GG Easy would have lost to them. CCDs would have lost to them. Okay, Fan Price would have beat them this week. Dirty Birds would have lost. RPO Tank would have won. So pretty much almost everybody but 2 teams would have lost to them this week. So you can't feel that bad.
No, I feel bad. It's still embarrassing.
But almost every team could have lost them besides 2 of them. And that's sad. That's sad that most of our league would have lost to a team that had 200 guys on their lineup. You just happen to be the team that's happened to 2. Your timing was just bad. Because how many points?
Now we're looking at a 3rd and 2. And it's going to be a handoff to the running back. And that's going to be...
Was that a first down?
Oh, could it be a first down?
The form of momentum.
Forward momentum, yeah. And after that, you can easily just hit the knee on that.
But look at this. 136.2 points last week, Joe. How's your team fallen so much in 1 week? And you know what Seattle Waterballs had last week? 92.5.
It hurts.
So they improved by like 22 points, basically. While you deproved by like 40. How is that? That's insane. And he's going to go 3-0. He's about to go 3-0.
Seahawks are about to go 3-0, absolutely.
He's the first time head coach. He hasn't lost a game yet. He's 100%. He's 100% accurate so far. Isn't that crazy? He's 100%.
Yep. And they're just taking a knee at this point.
Do you think we could go all season without losing a game?
No, of course not.
That'd be funny if we did.
Would not.
How'd
be
you feel after
definitely.
that?
No.
This coach never loses a game all season long, and we win the Super Bowl, and we go perfect. That'd be funny in his first season.
Pretty much.
That would change the whole league because they would say a defensive coordinator basically takes a team the next season off of what Pete Carroll started, basically.
And Mike McDonald's just trying to finish the job, and that's gonna do it. Oh, a backflip celebration! If you hadn't seen that,
I saw.
and the Seahawks are going to finish this game going 3-0 against the Miami Dolphins. They have won this game. And congratulations to Mike McDonald on a 3-0 start.
Mm-hmm.
And Epic Sea Films, take me to it. Like, what did you like about this game?
So what I like about the game, what I've liked about the team so far is some of the decisions that Mike McDonald makes and the team itself. So I think what I really like is I like the offense and the direction of the offense is going and stuff like that. Like some of those big explosive plays, we didn't see that as much with Shane Waldron's offense versus Ryan Grubb's offense. So I think that has really improved our team. Also, I think the bright spot of our team is our defense. How much our defense went from basically being one of the worst last year to being considered one of the best because we're allowing some of the least amount of points per game. So I think those are kind of our bright spots, is our offense and our defense. Now, one thing I think we could work on is our special teams. That needs work.
Yeah, take me to it. It's like, what's the issues that you have with the special teams?
So the special teams is allowing too much run backs for the opposing team. So on like punts and on like kickoffs, we're allowing them to get too many yards on a run.
Which we did, and it's safe to say that the Seahawks the defense was able to bail the bad special teams out. So there was that. So I guess that's your negative takeaway from the game today, was just the bad special teams. I mean, my bad takeaway, I'm going to say it. Well, first, let me do a positive thing because I want to sound a little bit more positive.
Yeah.
I liked how the defense played, with the exception of the running game. They did get beaten up just a little bit, but they did stop the passing very well. But kind of easier to do so when Miami was down to their backup and their third string quarterback with Tua having an injury. Other things I liked was DK Metcalf made big plays early as he did step up, scored a touchdown, and Zach Charbonnet at the end was also able to muscle that through to get those 2 touchdowns, as he was like really grinding it, but struggling throughout the entire game. But he still found a way to find the end zone twice, including that drive where that got the Seahawks to the 24 points. Now, the things that concern me is obviously the offensive line makes Geno Smith look really bad. And I know, I'm going to say it, I am not a Geno Smith fan, but man, was that offensive line terrible. And those interceptions it's not like Geno Smith was throwing it to the DB or a safety or anything. They were both blocked, and the first one was blocked by Zach Charbonnet, who tried to catch it, but he couldn't catch it, the running back, of course. And the second one was just a batted ball, and it just happened to go to a defensive lineman or a linebacker or whatever it was. So offensive line is going to need a lot of work, because although I'm very excited about the 3-0 start, let's hit the brakes for a second. The first game, they played Denver, a rookie quarterback, won by only 6 points, but yeah, it was that late touchdown given up by Bo Nix, and he had to run for it. Patriots, they're pretty much in a new era, post-Belichick, post-Brady, obviously. I shouldn't be saying Brady at this point. Jacoby Brissett, he's a backup quarterback, and he may lose his starting job soon to Drake May. Who knows if they even plan to do that? And then this third game, they played Miami, who doesn't even have Tua, and everyone's just pretty much banged up on this team. Like, you saw so much banged upness out of Miami. So that's why I'm saying hit the brakes on the excitement, because next week they're in Monday Night Football. Granted that they usually play well on Monday Night Football, but they're playing against the Detroit Lions, and that's not going to be an easy team, to say the least. No. And before we get into the Lions game, how are you feeling about any other takeaways that you had from the Seahawks game?
Yeah, I think what I see is that the Seahawks are doing what they need to do to finish games off, because they could be fumbling and letting these games like slip away from them, but they're not letting them slip away. That's, I think, a good takeaway to notice from the team, is that they are being very disciplined to finish the games that they start.
And that's the other positive thing to take away, is the Seahawks penalties have really declined.
That's true.
Much significantly. I'm not sure exactly. We have to look at the stats some other time, but it just feels, just by feeling, we don't notice as many flags as we saw from the Pete Carroll era. And when it was Pete Carroll, flags were literally all over the place. Like, you could literally paint the entire field with flags. But this time, under Mike McDonald, it seems that they have kept those flags under control. But of course, we still got games to go, because you're going to play Detroit Lions. That's not going to be easy. They haven't even played any of their competition in the NFC West yet. Yeah. So there's still a lot of things to look at in the future, but at least they have the momentum going right now, and hopefully the Seahawks can figure it out against the more tougher teams like Detroit Lions. You're not going to say that San Francisco is going to be easy either. Of course not. What about the Rams? Because they always play the Seahawks tough no matter what, because you never want to downplay that opponent.
The other thing to note is that if you win the games that you're supposed to win, or the games that are against easier opponents that aren't playing as well, then that means that sets you up to, hey, if you win one or two of those big games against those teams, all of a sudden right there, you win like the easy games for like 7 games, you win a couple of the easy game, the harder games, right there, you're like a 9-10 win team. You're right there pushing for playoffs every year, So that's where we're at. Because you think about, like, half our games are going to be easy. That's 7 or 8 games right there. We could be a 10-win team easy.
Well, granted, though, you never want to downplay an opponent. That's the one thing I will caution, is yes, even if you do play those teams, you don't want to downplay, because today's game could have been a mess where, yes, it was pretty unlikely that Miami was going to make that comeback, but if the Seahawks weren't careful, they could have, I'm not saying they would have lost the game, but they would have at least made it exciting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and look at this. Look at, for example, today. Don't count on an opponent. Look at this. look at a team like Carolina. They actually ended up playing their backup quarterback and ended up scoring over 30 points and won a game versus when they started their regular player. So anytime you don't want to count out and saying, hey, this one change could make a difference, it could make the team worse or better. And you never want to count out a team because you don't know which way it's going to go.
You never want to downplay an opponent because downplaying is probably the most dangerous thing that you'll ever do in sports or even just playing games with anyone. So,
yeah.
But yeah,
I
think
it's going to be a good week.
The next week's going to be a tough week. It's going to be against the Detroit Lions. You're playing against a formidable defensive group of the Lions and Jared Goff, formidable quarterback who tends to play well against the Seahawks. So it's going to be a tough game, but the advantage that the Seahawks have is they're at home and it's at Monday Night Football. And I'm pretty confident I will be covering that game. So that's something I'll have to keep updated. But before we go, Epic C Films, do you have anything else left to say about this game?
I say that this is a really good start because going 3-0 and starting a season, most likely you're not going to end up with the number 1 draft pick. So you pretty much already have counted that out.
Thanks. You really have to throw that shade at me, don't you? Because that I'm the guy obsessed with the number 1 picks.
And then also, like you said, never count an opponent out because look what happened to you in fantasy this week. Okay? So another thing.
My fantasy football team may lose, and I'll have updates on that for sure with my YouTube shorts and my membership-only content, which, by the way, if you would like to get more exclusive content on my fantasy sports, join the membership for just $5 a month. And I'm even trying to get Epic C Films to do it so he can watch it, maybe give me feedback, but of course he's not going to. But, well, that's going to do it. I just want to say thank you very much for following this game and watching this video. And Epic C Films, do you have any last parting words while I say thank you for being on this show?
You're welcome for having me on this show. Have a wonderful day, and don't drink and don't smoke.
And lastly, go Hawks.
Yes, and don't quit your J.